Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.
I need to sip more water. I need to sip more water. I did.
We're here.
We are here. Quarter Black Garrett is not. Quarter
Where is
Black
he?
Garrett is not.
Zorbu?
Well, one
I
of
blame
his.
Zorbu.
I blame Zorbu. Get your mic level up just a little bit, Adam.
Mine?
Please. Yeah. Thank you.
Test.
No, he's one of his
better?
17 children. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Has a birthday today, and I told him he can only pick one.
I mean,
You
he
can only
throws a
pick one.
stone and it
Favorite.
lands on a birthday.
Yeah, right. He gets
I
half a
don't
year
know how
off.
it works, but yeah.
The
Wouldn't that be
sacrifices
nice?
you got to make when you're, repopulating the planet. So,
I'll learn soon enough.
yeah, you will.
So excited for you.
Then you can crank out like 17 more after that. It's all
Whoa,
good.
calm down. I'm gonna
Okay.
start with one,
Okay.
and then we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Hey, everybody! Skinwalker Ranch is back. Woo! Yeah.
Nice.
And wouldn't you
Let's
know
roll
it?
it up.
Opening scene. Just Travis sitting in a car,
Sitting in a
looking
car.
out the window. It's like, oh, there he is.
Last year, I was looking for the strange and unusual. So grab broadcast at 1.6 gigahertz and let's blow up the fucking mesa. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice rocket.
Oh, I hope they do it this year. I really do.
Oh, they're not gonna do it this year.
Well, there's processes, right? They can do like
Sure.
LiDAR. They can get bigger drills.
Yeah.
I would say we end it with like the final season will be a rocket with like a micro nuke on the tip that they fire off and blow up the mesa.
Well, they don't want it radiated. They're not gonna irradiate the.
It's already
place.
radiated. You see the radiation that Travis got?
All right,
I mean-
more.
Mhm.
Yeah, that freaking thing that appeared on the guy's neck.
Yeah.
Oh,
That feels like
yeah.
that's radiation. They claim
Yes.
they didn't know what happened, but I mean that feels like some radiation shit, right?
It's very sketchy.
Yeah.
Where'd it come from?
Very sketchy, but we're going to talk about the episode. We also have another thing that dropped, and I don't know if I know you guys watched the video, but I found the Christopher Mellon, who's been involved with the quote unquote disclosure and behind the scenes of the famous 2017, not 1917, 2017 article in the New York Times with the UAP and the Tic Tac and blah, blah, blah. He used to work for the administration, both of them.
Mhm.
I think both Democrat and Republican. So like, yeah, he's a government guy, but he's got a Substack and he dropped some info about the Kingman UFO. Is it a crash retrieval or a landing retrieval? But we're gonna go over that because it popped that up again, and it's an interesting case. And I was just in Kingman not too long
Oh, cool.
ago.
You were just there.
Yeah, went there twice. Well, not accidentally. We drove through Kingman, went up 93, went down 93, and then there was a fatality accident. Had to make a U-turn on the freeway. What freeway? It's a 2-lane road at that point, but it was like still hairy. So we waited for the 18-wheeler to do it in front of us so it could block us, and we did it. And then had to go. It added 4 hours. Well, it added hours to our trip home because we took the northern route, which is terrible, utterly terrible. Don't ever take 40 on the way down to San Antonio from Vegas because it sucks. It's
I
all
don't like
country
driving through
roads
Texas at all. It takes a full day.
well. It depends. If you're on a
drive
freeway,
anywhere.
if you're on a freeway, like head towards El Paso, it's 80.
Oh
It's
my
like
god.
80 mile an hour
Okay.
speed limit. Yeah,
18
which means you
hours
can
then,
go
sure.
90 and not get messed with.
True.
Yeah,
That's
so you're hauling ass. It's fine. I got no problem with that.
Okay.
It's not pretty.
Still a lot of driving.
It's a lot of driving. It's okay.
I do like driving though.
You can listen to
Do
the
you?
Silmarillion. You can listen to Elric. You can listen to Worlds in Collision. You can listen to Ozzy's Boneyard. That's what I do. Graham Hancock.
You know,
Oh, we should load those for our next road trips.
Mhm.
True that.
The Graham
Graham
Bell.
books.
Oh my God, what am I talking about?
Hancock. Graham Hancock.
Graham, not Herbie Hancock.
Art
Graham
Bell
Hancock.
episodes
Yeah.
because I
Art
want
Bell.
to start
the Art
listening to
Bell
those
episodes.
soon.
Mm,
Soon.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and start in order. You can start in order. That would be cool because you can see where he gets to shadow people, and it's really fun. But yeah, I guess we'll introduce everybody and we'll start talking about Skinwalker Ranch. We're gonna be doing it for a long time, but it'll be like a segment of the show.
Yeah.
All right. Feel
Is
free
it
to
once
watch
a week
it.
now?
It's weekly release on Tuesday
Okay.
night.
Tuesday night. All right.
I think on live TV, it's on at 9 Eastern.
I sail the high seas.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
I
Adam will
mean-
be asleep at that point, anyways.
It used to be on Hulu the next day, like for free, and it's not anymore. So the only way you can watch it if you're not subscribed to like Hulu or you have cable is to buy it on Amazon Prime or other places,
Or sail the high seas.
or do what Adam does. There's a lot of ways to watch the show. It's also on heavy, like it goes into
They don't
heavy
call me
rotation
Commodore for
reruns.
nothing.
There is a free channel. There is Samsung TV, but it's also on Roku, and there's another version of it. But it's like the unexplained television, and basically all it does is repeat Oak Island, Ancient Aliens, and Skinwalker Ranch over and over again. So you can find that. You could probably get caught up. But Adam, how's it going?
It's going well. You know what? Today, something happened that it hasn't happened in what I think months. The sun came out and it was
Okay.
warm. It was warm out. I'm wearing a t-shirt right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's t-shirt weather. I'm comfortable in my house. It was such a delight to be outside and just feel the fresh air and the warmth and not be freaking cold outside. It was fantastic. So that's like what's happening in my life right now. The warmth is coming back. Sad how much I love it. And I've got this working on it. It's starting to pick
Are
up.
you
at
gonna
the
curl
ends.
it up? You gonna do a
Oh
little?
yeah. Oh, I'm going full, baby. I could feel them now. Like I could get a little, like you could see it.
I can see on stream you just playing with the ends of those.
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Evil over here. Wait, he had
Whoa.
no mustache hair.
Okay. Yeah, what are you talking about, Dr. Evil?
He did this. I forgot.
We can. We can.
Anyway, I'm feeling great. It's good to be here. Love you. Love
I
the
mean,
show.
it's okay
Love
to
you
talk
guys.
about the president on this.
Love the chat.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about the president. What are you
So
talking about?
Dr. Evil. Well, he's not a doctor. Neither
Oh,
is
I
his
see.
wife. Neither is his wife.
Heyo! Heyo!
Oh, X-ray. Good.
Hello. I feel like I'm the opposite of Adam. I know it's been warm out, so I have like gone outside, but ever since my my brother
I
came
touch
over,
grass.
we've kept the house very, very cold at like 20 degrees Celsius. So I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's cold. It's cold.
I know
I'm
Celsius.
freezing. Yeah.
20 is cold?
For me-
What?
I like it a balmy 22, 23. Personally.
That's where my wife is at. She's like, can we get 24 maybe?
Oh, 24 would be even better. But
I'm
then
like, goodness.
the men in the house would be
You
sweating.
and your commie Celsius. I don't even want to hear it. Okay.
I don't want to even think
Well,
about your
you know what's
freedom
crazy?
units then.
Look, freedom music. That's a good way of putting it. I know Fahrenheit and inches and the imperial versus the metric and now the Celsius Fahrenheit. I convert them in my head naturally now that anyone can say either one and I just understand.
I know like
what it is.
38 is warm, right?
It's
38.
Fahrenheit? Oh no,
Yeah,
that was very
Celsius.
warm.
Celsius.
Very
Yeah,
warm.
that's
Yeah, look,
hot.
Fahrenheit is superior because 100 degrees sounds effing hot. Not it's 40. It's 40 degrees. It's like that doesn't sound hot. 100 degrees sounds hot.
But
Okay.
100 degrees Celsius
makes
is
more
the
sense, though.
boiling point, which makes it more
And 0 is
easier.
the freezing point.
Yeah.
It does.
I
you
don't
know,
care
It makes
about
sense
boiling
in that
points.
aspect.
I care about what it looks like and how it's packaged, and it's
Oh,
all
Gary
about
just likes bigger
presentation.
numbers. He's a
I
side.
like
you don't have
bigger
to
numbers.
think.
Yeah.
Freedom Unit is Adam's new porn movie. Wait, who said that? That was awesome. Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
Baby Jesus sees all. Thank you for that amazing comment.
Maybe Jesus sees all. This is true.
That was
It is true.
caught me off
So, yeah, this year we're going to be making, in not too long, in about a month-ish, a little over, going to be at the Cosmic Summit.
Yeah.
soon.
Peru. This is going to be later this year. We're going.
It's a
We're
go.
going. It's a go.
So-
We're gonna
Oh,
yeah.
October.
We'll bring that up in between segments. We'll bring up
Okay.
that thing. Yeah. And what I hinted at, I mean, I guess I have to. Should I say anything before I sign the dotted line?
No.
I mean, I
sign
have
the line first.
Sign the line.
I
have to
have
sign
I have every intention of signing it tomorrow. So
Wait, do you have it with you so people could like? It's up to you whether or not it's signed right now. So like, you could sign it, right?
I have it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe you could drop some. I feel like some breadcrumbs, maybe.
A
then.
tiny hint. Maybe.
Breadcrumbs. Breadcrumb. Cut it in half.
I don't know how to do that hint now.
I don't know. either.
Word.
I'm having fun with this though.
Brain don't work like that.
You know, just chew it up a little bit like a bird, you know, and then like feed
Oh
it
my
to the
God.
audience like a mama bird. No, I'm sorry, I went too far.
Okay,
Oh.
so you know that thing Jeremy from the Quartering always complains other content creators. Now, obviously,
Yes,
he's not talking
I
about
do.
me because he says millionaire content creators. I'm like, well, that's not me. But
We all know he's talking about Tim Pool. Come on.
yeah, we do. So that thing that Jeremy always talks about from the Quartering, we're
That's
gonna
it.
do.
That's the breadcrumb.
There you go.
That's all you get.
Yeah.
That's
I feel
We-
that was
we
that was
don't-
like
we
a
don't
full
have-
piece of bread. I'll
we
be
don't
real.
have Garrett
That's
here to like spoil
it.
entirely.
Tiny arms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Garrett and his tiny arms.
yeah. So yeah, that's gonna happen tomorrow. So and then it has something to do with this show, right? Nothing's really gonna change on YouTube. Nothing's gonna change as far as the main channel is concerned. So Skinwalker Ranch. I was so excited. The only thing that brought it down a little bit for me, was like my dog dying. So that was
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Super-
Sorry,
super
sorry
bummer.
to hear about
Yeah,
that.
it's been a shitty week
It's always a
for
bummer.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, Christy Nome's such a bitch. I can't believe she did that to you.
I know, right?
Sorry.
What did she do?
American politics.
Did she
Okay,
shot
never
her
mind.
Oh.
dog or something? Yeah, I don't know what she did.
What the heck?
It was a joke that if you're aware of the political
okay.
landscape,
Yeah.
it makes sense. But
Whatever. Yeah.
no worries.
She didn't actually
Yeah.
shoot a dog, did she?
She did, yeah, actually.
That's sad.
He killed it killed a bunch of livestock and then bit her when she tried to like take it off of him, but I don't know. A lot of rural life people are like, these woke conservatives don't understand. It's like an internet battle amongst conservatives right now.
Okay.
So,
I don't know.
Love
Anyway.
the dogs.
It's not.
That's
Yeah.
it.
It's love the dogs, but it's not the first time I've heard a dog being put down because it was crazy. So,
yeah,
Mhm.
right.
but I like dogs. So,
Man,
yeah,
too.
whatever.
I love dogs.
They
Dogs are amazing.
taste
I don't know what that has to do with the greater world.
I'm sorry, what?
What was that?
I made a racist joke.
Her inner China has come out.
I just said it tastes so good.
You're such a bad influence on you.
Wow.
Sorry.
R.I.P. Parker.
R.I.P.
Perry made a great video. Put it on Nerdrotic Daily. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was good
Rest
to
in
see it
peace.
come back. And we're gonna have it all summer. I don't know how many episodes we're gonna do, but this one's for they sit around the table at the compound and they discuss what they're gonna do this year. Of course, it's all planned. They brought in another helicopter. You're right. It started out with Travis Taylor because he's the star of the show now.
Of course,
Like
he is.
he's
He has
becoming a
to
rock
be.
star. Yeah, he's
And
become a rock.
Brandon, I feel like he needs to be in it more. Of course, he's
Brandon's out there.
busy. Yeah,
I
like him,
Brandon.
though.
I do
Yeah,
too.
I want to see more of him.
Yeah, I mean he's a businessman, so
True,
he's not going
right.
to alienate either side of the aisle. But
Right,
we know where he comes from, and he's a big nerd too. He's a big nerd, so respect.
Brandon,
for that.
if you're watching this, we would love to interview
Hell yeah.
on this show. Please come on the show.
Hell yeah. So and like he responds respectfully to people on Twitter when people call the show out. Like he's very active. Honestly, I don't know how a guy could like run that many businesses at that high a level and then still be on Twitter. It's just I'm not made.
He's
that
probably
way.
got somebody who's like, hey, do you want to respond to this? Do you want to respond to this?
No, I feel like he does it
That
in between
sounds like-
his like.
That sounds like him to
meetings.
me. I could be wrong.
Really?
Maybe it's just a voice in my head.
Probably.
I could be
He's a
wrong.
multi-millionaire, right?
Probably more than that. But yeah,
so
I mean easily.
Maybe he does it
Easily.
for his downtime. He just enjoys going on Twitter. Who knows?
I mean, this is like a passion project, buying Skinwalker Ranch. I mean, it's a business opportunity, but I mean, the guy didn't need to do it. He has enough money.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, and then
Which is the best case scenario too.
His brother's
Because he
like
wants-
the
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
his brother's the CEO of the helicopter company.
Which is
So
pretty
yeah, they're
freaking
doing
cool.
okay. They're doing okay.
Yeah, it's a great combo. You know, they
Mhm.
got the helicopter whenever, and they brought in a new expert.
Yeah.
the
Roy?
What was he
systems
do?
analyst. He like the systems
Yes,
analyst
that's
was
how you
brought in.
pronounce it. Yes.
That's exactly how you pronounce it. He has more security cameras, and I correct me if I'm wrong, chat. It's just like it's tech. He has a lot of tech. For one, I'm gonna wonder right now, why don't you have trail cams that are all like freaking high def? For it's not
Right.
like you can afford it. Okay. But I think they're going to have more of that. So there's more of an array of technology from this guy, right? I don't know what he brings. We'll find out. Like, you know, it's you got to bring a new character in once in a while to the show.
True.
This is season
5?
5, right?
Yeah, they introduce him, and they're like, "And this is our new character," and he goes,
I know. Well, he says something later.
He doesn't
says
even say
something later.
anything. Oh, yeah, it's just so funny.
So,
Like, oh, all right.
Having edited like reality TV professionally before, I totally get what that like they put up what they have. Okay.
Yeah, right.
It's not like occasionally they'll like ADR. Well, they will a lot. They'll throw in some audio, but they're not doing reshoots out there. So
right.
if the guy didn't say anything super interesting, you just have him nod.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And you go to the next interesting thing, because every second counts. You know,
Right.
even when you're like making a video, when I'm making a video, I really, you have to put in like connecting information, and you have to state the obvious because not everybody's watching the video. You have to say what's on the screen most of the time, but you have to minimize that because you need your hooks, and you need to be entertaining, right? Most of all. So you have to present the information entertaining as possible, but like truthful as possible, and keeping it as cut down as possible. You know, great example of somebody who does that perfectly on YouTube. Critical Drinker could lay out every single problem in Hollywood over the last 20 years in 7 minutes. Like I can't, but he can.
That's a good
And
point, yeah.
so when you're editing something like this, yeah, you're definitely that's probably I'm guessing a couple of hour conversation. They're sitting right there, and maybe they are redoing it, but I don't think so. I think they just have multiple angles and they just go. They set up. They definitely talk about what they're going to talk about beforehand. That would be my guess. And who knows if they do that before or after the show is done. I don't know. Like I've watched enough Top Gear and Grand Tour to know that a lot of the introductions are done like after the special is done, especially this last one, because they were all tan. When they did hey, we're going to Mauritania. It's like, no, you're all tan. You've already been there. So
Right.
like that's part of it. That's so, and this quote unquote, this is it's unscripted, but it's planned. Okay. What isn't planned, we hope. I would like to think that because they get in a lot of trouble. The ghost show's gotten a lot of trouble for faking shit.
The
Like a lot of
results.
trouble.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's the results. So that's the biggest question we have to have for Skinwalker, because I didn't watch Oak Island. I'll watch like the last 5 minutes before it goes into Skinwalker, and I'm like, this thing has been around for a decade, and they're still like pulling up just like, we think we found
wood
some
pieces.
wood, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
They've been pulling out wood of holes from that place forever. That's all it is.
You know what? Sure. I think some Vikings were there. Some Templars were probably there, and they probably died. That would be my guess. But
Right.
Skinwalker is a different beast, because to set it up, the government was funding investigations through Bigelow's company for a long time. And they had like serious scientists working on this who didn't believe any of this shit, who came away going, well, we couldn't replicate it. We can't use the scientific method here. It's just impossible. There's something going on. It's totally unexplainable, and
they can't replicate anything.
Nothing repeats. And they even talk about how like the ranch plays with you, and then they would go months, a year without anything happening, and then a couple of things would happen, and then imagine all the stuff you miss, all the stuff that they're going to miss. So they're back, and you have to wonder, all right, well, what did you do off season? Well, there's that Skinwalker Ranch little fan club and that I'm a part of. And you could go on their channel, and they have cameras going like 24/7. They'll do like little talks and stuff. And I think they're going to probably present, they talked about something in the first episode that happened. A cow died, just dropped dead, but it's just cows die. I think just cows die. And they had no video of it. They had the picture of it dead, but they had no video of it just dropping dead, like they did that first episode. It was the stinger for the first episode. So this time
they didn't focus on that cow's death very long, which tells me that there wasn't anything weird about it, because they would have definitely, it's irradiated, it's missing some body part.
Experts before, remember, to like check out the
other
bodies.
Because the other cow died very weird.
Exactly.
That was weird.
So I think it was just a regular cow dying.
And then they did a full-on autopsy and said, well, yeah, it died of fear, basically. It was something scared it, and it freaking croaked. So
wait, this new one?
The old one.
I was like, did I miss that?
No.
Okay. The original one.
Yeah, the newest cow that died of natural causes, or you're right, they would have spent half the show on it. That would have been a big deal.
Yeah, it feels like they were just like, we could use that. Oh, a cow died. Perfect. We'll throw that in there as well. Something to talk about.
I like how they make the rockets part of the, like
everything.
I don't know, the promotional image is the ranch hand. I keep forgetting his name, and then a big rocket going to the sky, but then there's a triangle there. So I'm like, that was good. That was good. So the rockets are a fundamental part, and you can't deny like weird shit has happened from the rockets, whatever the hell it is. But what we're closing in on is somewhere above the triangle next to the mesa. There is an anomaly. There is something.
Yep.
There's something there. Is it from a magnetic anomaly? I think if you want to start at the most scientific approach, especially with that whatever ground radar they did that showed that circle with the big black circle in the middle.
Oh, it was I have it written here. Infrared LiDAR image.
Yeah. So remember when they said that was an ancient impact site? I think, that would be my first guess. It's from the impact. When something impacts the earth, maybe it creates magnetic anomalies. Maybe that impact does something to the ground that affects the magnetism that comes from the core. I don't know. I've been kicked out of 3 high schools, but that would be like, if we want to go like just really grounded approach, that might create a magnetic anomaly, which could reprogram your brain, make you see certain things. Not saying those things aren't there, but make you see certain things. We talked about this with Ben from Suspicious Observers, how like the magnetism and like the electricity and magnetism around us does affect us. Absolutely affect us. So here it is. And they tried to compare it. They're like, it looks like a black hole. By the way, first picture, that's the first picture of a black hole, like a real one. That's
Yeah.
an enhanced version on the right to make it look a little more sexy and black holy, I guess.
It's really
But
dope.
it is cool. It is cool.
And black
but-
holy.
And black holy.
And then this is the mesa. Well, you can see the mesa along that top strip. That's the mesa. So this is actually kind of out in front of the mesa.
Yep.
Which is actually where they had that. They talk about it later in the episode where something comes out of the mesa and it goes right to that spot. Or no, they see it in that spot in the new footage where they have this top down. So I feel like I'm getting ahead of it because it's a little. They take these helicopters.
Yes.
And they bring in a second helicopter because they wanted to do like different testing at different levels. With 1. Can you drop a Travis 1.6 gigahertz?
1.6 gigahertz.
So they were
sending above the mesa.
Exactly. So they were trying to get different elevations to see whether or not they could get the signal. They were sending out the signal, and then someone was on the ground seeing if they could get like the signal, and then it disappeared. But they were hovering 100 feet, 200, what was it, like 100 feet above them? So they were like a clear line of sight, nothing in between them, and they couldn't get the signal from just straight, and they were sending it right to them. So something was in the air right between them that was blocking this signal from reaching the ground.
And
that was
as you
weird.
mentioned, at a certain part of the triangle, right?
Yeah,
so
very specific point.
Very specific point, like you said. So they're circling it at different altitudes, and they start out really. By the way, F all this. I would never get in a helicopter ever.
Not around that. Nope.
I would,
they're like,
but not around that shit.
Open, and they're like just in the seatbelts hanging out, holding stuff out. I'm like,
they're like, there's an electrical anomalies down there. It's like, let's
GPS
fly around
working.
in a helicopter. Yeah, that actually happened. There's a screen, and he goes, that's weird. Tap, tap, tap. The GPS lost signal.
Lost signal completely.
Weird.
So
weird.
That is weird. And the fact it was, and they gave it away in the beginning because they were like showing, hey, what we're going to do. And they showed the reflection. And I'm like, what? Wait, what was that? And they gave it away before they did it. But they were looking to see if those signals would stay connected, and they were bouncing off of something. What? I don't know, but it was like up the whole leg. They went from what? 300
feet
to like 6,000 feet.
Yeah, really far up there. And then they did take GPS data. And when they looked at the GPS data, you saw this like circular motion, which is what they were doing. And then at these certain points, it almost like they were going up, and then the helicopter GPS said that it went down and then up again, like this crazy dip that didn't make any sense. And like in my mind, I'm like, is that something that the GPS can just mess up? And I tracked it around, and it happened a couple different times, but one was like this heavy spike that they were focused on. And it's hard to say because like I don't know much about GPS. Like, can GPS just like take a misreading a couple different times? Yeah, perfect here. So you can see this is the path of the helicopters. And actually, if you right there, you can see it it's go pathing up, and then all of a sudden it's I don't know, 50
restarts.
feet lower. And they were saying like if a helicopter did that, they would know, for one, and it can't just go that fast. There would be like, a GPS signal marking down and then up again. So something tricked out the GPS, and they've had these issues before. I don't know if you recall.
I recall.
Yeah.
Well, they had the drones. The drones were falling out, and their GPS were tracking all wonky and weird. Then they had this when the Bigelow production or owned the farm. They had this guy, this expert that was there, and then they brought him back last season. And when they flew him around in a helicopter, the GPS went way below the ground. And like that was really wild, and they couldn't explain that. So there is really weird things that happened with this GPS. But while they were flying these helicopters, they had the cameras going, forward, down, and when they were looking at the camera going down, right when they were flying over, can you bring up the black hole imagery now? Bring that back.
Yes.
So when they were right over this spot, they saw this white, it looked like a white speck, right?
See if I can find it.
But Dragon's like, that there's a mini pickup that's 5.5 feet. You know, he's being very like, it's this long, so we know that it's this long. And actually you could see this pickup truck that was like 5 feet, a 5-foot bed, and it was the same size as the pickup bed. So it was this 5-foot long, I don't even want to say long because it was more of like a spherical object that was right there. That's where it was, right in that same spot. They didn't actually make that connection, which I'm kind of shocked because that's where it was, right? It was in that same location. And they brought up the footage from when they watched it fly into the mesa and out of the mesa. It was the same object. They did make that point, which is really cool.
Yeah, there was a couple things they caught, right? And
oh yeah, there was that other one.
Yeah, and
that long double. I don't. Travis was saying it was like a double image or something.
Yeah, he said when there was two. It was either the image that had there was two structures. I think he said next to each other, which was weird.
And it was consistent to each frame too, because they went frame by frame.
Yeah,
and it was still that double image throughout the whole thing. So I don't know. I feel like if it was closer, like you think, you know, perspective can play with your eyes. Is it something really close to the camera that's making it look like it's really far? Like, is it a bug? You know, if a bug flies past my camera right now, is it going to look like a bug, or is it going to look like something massive way far back? I mean, you know, obviously I'm in a studio, but if I was outside and the same thing kind of happened, it could have been something flying way back in the sky, or just a tiny bug.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a bird or a bug. You always got to think like that one flying.
I don't think it was a bird.
That one flying information thing they had from last season. I'm like, that looks like birds to me. Looks like birds.
I agree with that.
Could be wrong.
Yeah, but this one didn't look like a bird.
No,
neither of them did.
The weirdest thing from last year was that spherical weird object that was in
one frame
for one frame.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was very Skinwalker.
Looked metallic. It looked metallic,
and it's consistent with what other people have seen in the past before they even showed up. Like I
think it was the same thing. I think what I was just explaining.
They said it looked like a giant trailer or Winnebago thing floating through the trees. Remember that one? It definitely had, because it had a sphere and it had a square on the side, right? And it's there for one frame, and like that was bizarre. That was truly bizarre. And we'll see what we get this year. But again, they've established that there's something above the mesa. Things are bouncing off of it. Rockets might be bouncing off of it. We might have seen like a blurry, like, I don't know what it was from, the smoke or something from that one camera that takes 1,000 frames a second or some ridiculous amount. That from the camera that was shooting up from a stationary helicopter and from below, they got a couple of already like weird, you know, possible UAPs. And listen, that valley has had UFO sightings forever. They talked to, I'm forgetting his name, but they talked to his family. But the old guy who documented it and had lived there had written a book about it, which I need to get. I need to get that book. Just thought of that. But this is yes, Zemta. Sorry, I am going to be on the Will Kane show Thursday.
This Thursday,
yeah, this Thursday. So I thought it was a decent first episode. It kept me engaged. It got me up to speed. When they showed the trailer, there are definitely a lot more rockets. We have a lot more drones. That one scene where most of the drones are falling out of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
You see that? All right, take cover.
Are they digging into the mesa though? That's what I want to know.
I think they are. I think they just need a bigger drill, I guess.
A bigger drill,
yeah,
and maybe some TNT. You know,
I'm thinking blowing up, but you know what? They already talked about Bigelow might have already blown it up.
Really?
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, and that
one spot. It's not stable. It's not this because it's a bunch of rocks. So it's not
a lot of rocks.
It's not very stable. Which makes you think, well, what's that from? Why is it a bunch of rocks? Was there a water flow there? Was the impact, but it's newer than the impact. right? The impact is millions of years old when it was like Pangea, but part of Pangea. But yeah, don't know.
You know, the white spherical thing that you mentioned from last season, from that one frame, and even from this episode, you know, we had that, like, it was kind of like floating. It reminded me of this. Wi-Fi's put out a video about Nellis Air Force Base, and it was, what is it, Range 4 Harry or something, right? And but they go into these Tic Tacs.
Oh,
and
Range 4 Harry is from the Tall Whites.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
It's all encompassing in this story, because the Tall Whites were supposedly seen on Nellis Air Force Base in this episode that he's talking about. And more towards the end of the episode, they start talking about how is there this joint venture between humans and the Tall Whites? Are they actually working together? And then they show these Tic Tac, supposedly these Tic Tac ships that look just like the Tic Tac video that we've seen. You know, everyone's seen the Tic Tac video, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, that looks familiar. Like, why does that look familiar? And I had just watched this episode of Skinwalker. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, that looks like the Tic. Let me see if I could pull this up real quick.
It did. And that's kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, because Stephen Greer, I used to listen to Stephen Greer a lot. And then Stephen Greer kind of went like transcendental and tried to, you know, you can go out and meditate and contact the UFOs and stuff. And that's where it gets a little woo-woo for me. That's might be for you, not for me. I like to keep it a little grounded. But in his most recent documentary, I think, he was saying that a lot of that stuff is ours, right? And I'm like, well, I've heard that before, and I just don't think we have that technology. I don't. It'd be very hard to think that we wouldn't find some practical use for it and just like have that technology and sit on it forever. Sure, you're fearing your enemies would find it, but it's just like it's off the fucking charts. But I also want to point out that growing up in San Diego, I never saw one myself, but I know a bunch of people that had saw what was called the Tylenol UFO. They didn't call it a Tic Tac. They call it the Tylenol. It was a pill.
Okay. All right. So this is
for years, by the way, years and years and years and years and years.
Okay. This is Google Maps image of.
So what Greer was saying, sorry,
finish up.
Yeah. And what they said in the Wi-Fi videos is like, we're making these ships for them.
Yes. That's what they said. That's what they said, that we're really good at making stuff, but they don't want to give us their secrets of like inner space travel or, you know, shifting through dimensions or whatever. But there's a lot of these platforms. So that platform, according to a different map that was supposedly found, there's like recreational zones, and there's like $300 million that was dumped into this project. They tried to hire outside contractors in the city, heard that, oh, the base got a lot of money to make stuff. And they're like, oh, we're not hiring any outside contractors. We're doing this 100% on the inside. And there's nothing to show for it. So everyone's like, well, it's got to be underground. Like, what is it? What happened to this? And there's these weird panels all around this air base. Like, you could see them. And here, there's these 3 circular objects that people are like, well, what the hell are those? Those look like the Tic Tacs. Supposedly, they have been building these Tic Tac machines for either themselves, for, you know, the aliens. It was so weird that I had just watched Skinwalker, and then I saw this, and I was like, everything he's talking about. I've seen that before. I've seen it. It looks just like that.
Well, Adam, the more you go, and I know you've been doing this for a while, but the more you go down these rabbit holes, you're going to find yourself saying, I've seen this before. Where have I seen this before?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm going back to older books right now, especially with UFO. Okay. I'm going to go on my little tangent again, but
get it.
What Ancient Civilizations is crushing it right now because it's got a lot of good people focused on one thing. Sure, there's infighting, but it's not horrible. It's not like UFO. UFO is absolute infighting. And it's what you brought up. You got Stephen Greer charging people $3,000, giving him some night vision goggles and you can meditate the UFOs to you and shit. And it's like, I don't think that really helps anything. What we need is research, real data. And that's why Richard Dolan is kind of the king. He's like, for me, the most credible guy, most open-minded guy, pretty based. And watch his channel. He's
that was the
only
first video I've seen of his, the one that we watched of this new what was it called again?
Kingman UFO, which we'll
Kingman,
talk about in
the
just
Kingman,
a moment. Yeah.
Right.
So a secure team 10 is kind of like it's on and off with we don't have a focused channel or person. And more people should be listening to Richard Dolan, right? But with the government's involvement, it fractured everything. And I mean, you got to, and I know if Mike Bear is out there, I get it. And I agree. Like the government coming in going, okay, let's talk about UFOs. We're all, wait a minute. For years, you have discredited, destroyed lives, and possibly killed people. Possibly, I'm winking. Possibly killed people over this secret. And now you want to okay. So maybe there are some good people who want to get this out there. I think there probably is. But you can't it's really tough. Lou Elizondo, it's really tough to once you learn more about his background and what he did, it's tough to believe that this guy is now telling the truth when his whole job for the I think I don't want to say the CIA, for the government was to spread misinformation within communities to destabilize things during war.
Yeah. Right.
So it's that's tough, man. That's a tough pill to swallow. Okay. Sorry, but I'm not gonna trust anything, but I'll be open to listen to it if we get some real data. But we need an independent source that's really credible and that's out there all the time. Dolan, he writes his book. He's not judging you, Richard Dolan. He's doing his thing. He's writing his books. He's doing his conference. He's doing the best he can. But we need somebody on freaking YouTube doing it. We need somebody out there. Randall does his podcast all the time. His podcast. And we have Ben out there doing his thing. Wandering Wolf, Luke, but Megalithomania, they're all doing their things and they're all going for the same. They're all we just want to find the truth. We'll present different things, but they're not really stepping on each other and not going at each other. We need that with UFOs bad.
Yeah.
If
anything, they're building each other up. I know not all of them agree with each other, but for the most part, they're like you said, they're all trying to find the truth. They're not going, no, you suck. We have the truth. It's that's not, at least that's not how I see it.
So Richard, he's got a website you could subscribe to, which I do. And during COVID, he was doing videos with his wife all the time. They're great, doing little live streams, and he'd just talk about an old subject and bring everybody back to speed on it. And that stuff is all still out there, and you can find it. But Christopher Mellon, let me find the Substack, and I'll get you the link.
I can bring it up.
Yeah, find Christopher Mellon's Substack. It's his latest one, and he talks about the Kingman retrieval. This is an old retrieval from the 50s.
1953.
Yep. I also have a video we can bring up. I put it in Discord of some old guy. It's 15 minutes long talking about it. We can go over that too. But this is interesting because technically this is some new information. Now, of course, the government has never admitted that they have crash retrieval. That's what everybody's shooting for. That's it. If you want disclosure, which will never happen, you need the government to accidentally admit that they have UFOs, that they have something. They have a piece of a UFO. Now, I pretty much know they do. They I can't prove it.
I need to see it.
Well, George Knapp has come back with a piece from Russia. I'm thinking we've gotten it. I'm thinking we've reversed engineered some technology. I don't know how far or how wide this has gone, but I think we have, because some technology has kind of really, they talked about it in the Wi-Fi video, Wi-Files video. We went from a computer taking up an entire room to just a couple of years later.
I have a terabyte micro SD card, which blows me away.
They make it
it's insane.
Wow.
Yeah, I got it for Christmas. It's incredible.
Wait. I gotta open mine because I have one.
You got one too?
I have a terabyte micro SD card right
There
here.
it is. Look at that.
There it is.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Nice.
just insane. If you told somebody 50, 30 years, 40 years ago that would be a thing, they would, I don't know, I'm sure some would believe it, but they'd probably be blown away.
Yeah. So Christopher Mellon, again, he was part of the Defense Department. He was part of the government. He's worked for both administrations. He worked with Harry Reid, who I wouldn't trust at all. The only thing you could trust about Harry Reid, I guess, is he was a Democrat in Nevada. So he probably knew some shit. But old school Democrat. But I'm not a Harry Reid fan. But he was pretty much into the UFO thing towards the end. And it was clear he wanted to say more than he could. Like in a couple interviews, he would get frustrated because, like, man, don't ask me that because I can't answer it. It's like, and he was also probably a duplicitous, corrupt politician, like they all are. So,
yep.
And then he also was part of the Lou Elizondo thing and the Blink 182 guy doing From the Stars, and yeah. So that all fell apart. Like we thought it would, because I mean, it's great that a rock star wants to fund UFO stuff, but we know the attention span of a rock star. It's kind of like when a celebrity wants to write a comic book and draw a comic book or whatever. They're into it for like an issue and then they bounce. Recently, as a result of a FOIA request, the Department of Defense released some signal changes I had with some signal exchanges. Sorry. I had with Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, former director of the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. Just fucking, I hate this ARP anomaly. It's UFOs. It's UFOs. The release surprised, but did not offend me, as I'm a strong supporter of government transparency. However, it has also reminded me of another signal message that the public might find of interest that is also pertinent to the alleged recovery of off-world technology. A UFO. A UFO. A spaceship. Out of respect for the author's confidentiality, I have been sitting on this message for a number of years. I have also redacted portions of the document to protect the identity of the author. However, I recently obtained the author's written permission to release it. It has also now been approved for public release by the Defense Office of Pre-Publication and Security Review, DOPSR. God, they love their acronyms.
Yeah, they do.
I hate the government so much. I really do. I really do. I know the FOIA of the DOPSR of the fucking shut. Just, it's confidential. Just say it is. My purpose in release, there's people who just like spend their entire time coming up with acronyms in the government. There needs to be an acronym of the government acronym department.
I'm sure there is.
The AA. Acronym of acronyms.
Yeah. My purpose is releasing this document in the wake of government's blanket denials regarding the possession of off-world technology is simply to help others understand why I and some others consider these allegations worthy of investigation. So Blank and I are making huge progress getting into the CR program. Well, I don't know what the CR program is. He plans to meet with me at some point. The Blank would be slack-jawed if they found out what we know now. Right now, we haven't gotten that far back. We're dealing with the recovery of a UFO that landed in Kingman, Arizona in the 50s. We're vacuuming up info as Blank gets read in. We now know the management structure and security control systems and ownerships of the CR. Anybody know what the CR is in chat?
No, I don't.
We
Crash
also
retrieval,
know
maybe.
Okay, maybe that's it. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, I should have caught that. We also know who recovers landed or crashed UFOs under what authority or authorities. We also know that the still highly classified memo by a secretary of the USAF in the 1950s is still in effect to maintain the cover-up of UFOs. Now, I will just point out, and maybe he does later, is that memo from a high-ranking U.S. Air Force official who's dead. It probably is still in effect, and it could be due to just massive incompetence and bureaucracy. Okay, I mean, we need to think about that. What covers up so many conspiracies? Bureaucracy and incompetence. It's not a lot of that can be used to help the people pulling the strings, the very few people pulling the strings. We also know that the SES-2, who's the Air Force gatekeeper blank, a noted and redacted screenshot of exchange, blah, blah, blah. Okay. As you can see, the senior government official claimed that they were being granted access to an alleged UFO or U.S. alien technology recovery and exploitation program. I won't comment on the organization they work for, but I can confirm the individual had plausible access and was high ranking, considerably more than whistleblower Dave Grush. As you can see, this individual claimed to be gaining deep insights into the program and even provided the name of the alleged Air Force gatekeeper in quotes. For this alleged secret realm, I shared and unredacted a copy of this message with some staff and members of the various Congressional Oversight Committee. To the best of my knowledge, none have elected to contact the alleged USAF gatekeeper to check the veracity of his claim. Aware of the government's categorical denials of anything related to extraterrestrial life, I submitted a copy of this brief exchange to the Defense Office of Pre-Publication and Security Review, DOPSR. DOPSR confirmed the text is unclassified and approved it for public access. However, I also recognized that those making the determination that the document is unclassified would not likely be cleared for such an acutely
sensitive program.
So I was like, what the hell? My brain was not functioning. Acutely sensitive program. I should have waited. See, sometimes if I go to the next word, I get it. Acutely sensitive program, if it did exist. Further, the government could hardly deny approval to release this information without, to some degree, confirming its sensitivity and legitimacy. So although I'm relieved to have confirmation that this document is unclassified, I also recognize the truth could be more complicated. It always is. It always is. I think most people receiving information of this kind from from a senior government official would naturally take the issue seriously while still holding reservations about such a wild and sensational claim. So we go to more of this. This wild and sensational claim comes from a classic UFO retrieval. I mean, if you're in the UFOs for any amount of time, you've heard of the Kingman. It's been part of many documentaries. And yes, a lot of stuff happened in the late 40s and early 50s, right around the time we were like blowing up a lot of nuclear bombs. It's not a coincidence. I think it would be a concern, especially I think it would be a concern if you were, say, a trans-dimensional alien race that is here and has bases here and has a reason to be here. I mean, watching the bugs do their thing in our little alien ant farm. So it's a band reference too. Right now we haven't gone far back. We're dealing with the recovery. Landed in Kingman, Arizona. We're vacuuming up blah blah blah. So that's just a repeat of it. But why would they be talking about this in official documents? And again, that's an official document. Is it an email? Is it, I don't know. I don't know. But if you're just bullshitting, then why?
Yeah.
Especially when it's something we've all known about. It And that makes it more plausible for them to unclassify because it's just been out there. And military people have talked about this who have retired and just openly talked about it. See, a lot of the UFO stuff, people go, well, there's no proof. But there's so much circumstantial evidence from pretty credible people who've been talking about this for years, and it just doesn't get the play it should. There's that. And there's also all the fucking charlatans out there that ruin it for everybody. It is important to stress that regardless of alleged technology recovery issue, the UFO topic is one that requires serious continued congressional and executive branch attention. In just the last few years alone, over 1,000 military UFO reports have been recorded. This is in addition to a wider pattern of mysterious and disruptive drone overflights over U.S. bases and warships. Fighter aircraft from Langley Air Force Base recently had to relocate after weeks of drone overflights at Langley that the Air Force seemed impotent to address. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. Where are the drones from? Is it just some dude? Or
I mean, do you think humans are flying these around, or do you think that
I think humans are flying? I think yes. I think spies are flying a lot of drones around. I think absolutely yes. Okay, we can pretty much state that as a fact. Why wouldn't you? Especially if the Air Force is going to openly say we can't do anything about it, so we got to leave. It's like, really?
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe. I find like not being able to do anything about it. Like if you know they're there, then do something about them. And if they can't,
what if they really can't? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, there'll be a weapon very soon that can.
If it's true what the Y-Files was talking about, how the tall whites are in a trade agreement with some part of society of humans that are building these machines, they would be building the structure. You know, they're not going to be given the engine. They're going to have they're going to probably make the engines themselves. They're going to make the weapons platforms themselves because they know what humans will do with it, because humans are incredible beings. We are very capable of taking something and changing the course of all human history because of it, right?
Absolutely. Especially
and they know that.
Especially when it's a technology like we're close to cracking and they like just give us the little nudge.
Exactly.
And then yes, we're very good at that, and we're good manual labor that they don't have to deal with. It's like having us build their ships in exchange. The most disturbing thing about this is this exchange, and this has been UFO lore forever. Part of this government exchange, going back to possibly Eisenhower, is you can abduct some of our citizens. We just need a record of it. That's all.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I could. Okay, if there's aliens and if they want to test on us and if they want to pluck some of us, I absolutely believe the government would say, sure.
They wouldn't have a choice.
They would just say, like, don't touch these families. That's all they would say.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. We'll give you a list of who not to take.
I would offer up a list of potential abductees.
Yeah. It would be the same list.
Oh my God.
I got a list. And it's everybody who went to that island.
There it is. There it is.
Everybody went to that island.
Well, except the innocents that were,
Well, except of course the innocents. The not
there.
Innocent people who went to that island.
Okay. Right.
People who had
the customers of the island, we'll say.
Yeah.
But I want to backtrack on one thing.
Sure.
Considering our military today and what's and all the dog masks and everything else, I could totally see them missing some drones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and drone is such a term that is almost vague now, because I have a drone. It's a camera drone. It's fits in the palm of my hand. I fly it in the air to get some sky shots. That's a drone. But also there's the unmanned military drones that Obama loved using on an American citizen. Something in my throat. But then you think about what an alien drone would be, like the Tic Tac video. Like maybe there's nothing actually driving it. Maybe it is some sort of
most of them are drones. I think most UFOs are drones. I think the
but they can
pilots are
do
drones.
things that we can't understand.
Yeah.
Like, what if they can go into a different dimension? What if they do phase shift, into a different reality or some crazy shit like that? We can't even comprehend that.
Well, before 3D printing became a thing, right? They were talking about replicating. The Greys were just replicated biological drones, right? I don't think they even used drones at the time, but the terminology drone, maybe they did. But yeah, I remember like when I was a kid, I heard that for the first time. I'm like, that blew my mind. I'm like, that explains it all right there. That explains it. Why wouldn't you? Like, why would you? Space travel is dangerous even for probably an advanced race. And if you can if you can project a consciousness into one of those beings and you could just see through it, like, why not?
Yep.
Why not?
There's a show on Netflix. It's an anime. I don't know the name of it, and it's on my list. I just know that. But it's essentially humans in the future are trying to go to Proxima B or Alpha Centauri, the nearest potential habitable zone, and they're like, we know that we can't go there yet until we know at least that it's habitable. So what we're going to do is we set up the ship. It's going to scout. It's got these 3D printers that 3D print bodies for us that we do exactly like you just said. They put their brain into this body and they are living, but it's like the transcendence meets, I don't know. It's cool. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks really interesting. I don't know. Does anybody know the name of that movie or that show?
I've heard somebody describing it, and I don't know the name of it though. No, I heard somebody.
No, someone said that in chat.
They hated it.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah.
Is it called They Hated It?
Maybe.
The Air Force still does not know who was operating those craft or where they came from, and it is not just Langley. There have been many similar unsolved cases elsewhere in recent years. These include incidents at Anderson's Air Force Base, sensitive facilities on Guam, a large region of the United States containing U.S. ICBM missile silos, disturbing, Navy vessels off both the east and west coast, and have been extensively surveilled. U.S. Air Force training ranges in Arizona have been violated. Wow. And maybe that's the tall wipes, and more. If we didn't have a culture of trying to shame and humiliate military personnel who see and report unusual things, the military would undoubtedly have many other credible reports to evaluate. With such extraordinary demonstrative vulnerabilities, far more serious than a mere Chinese balloon, there's an urgent need for the government to aggressively investigate incursions of restricted military airspace, regardless of the truth of any allegations about recovered off-world technology. I shared this message below with some trepidation. I worry about the privacy of the author and the privacy of the U.S. Air Force individual whose name I redacted. I worry too that some will mistakenly assume this is a smoking gun document, and all we have to do now is to get the author to step forward, which it's not. I would argue it's not. I would just say we're closer to maybe mistake. The government's never going to admit it. They just never are, never ever. But I still think we could find out. However, it is important to note that this individual. What's so funny, X-Ray Girl?
I just saw Adam's message saying we need a Zorbu plushie.
Sorry, it just randomly popped in my head. Someone said Zorbu.
Probably a good idea. It's probably a good idea.
I was like,
however, it is important to note that this individual now claims that although they became aware of the program, they were ultimately denied access. Denied access. So the program's there. They just weren't allowed in. That's not a denial of the program. That's not a denial of, but it's also not an admission of crash retrieval, except though it's a program about crash retrieval. The author of the message still believes that there are recovered materials, but they admit that they have not seen or touched a recovered craft. So unfortunately, this individual will not be able to put this issue to rest, even if they were willing to come forward, which they are not. And at this point, they don't need to, honestly. I wanted to share this with the public simply to help others better understand the kind of information that has caused some of us to take our allegations of recovered off-world materials seriously. What would anyone think who received a message like this? Further, this is only one of a number of sources, 4 of whom I have successfully introduced to AARO. However, this individual, as well as another very compelling witness, still refuse to meet with AARO because they do not trust the process. I wouldn't either. That one. Whatever transparency was working on got just shit canned in the last one, the last government fucking circus they did. They might, however, be willing to speak with a small group of members of Congress behind closed doors. Why? Why fuck? You know what? It'd be better to, pick 20 people off the street to talk to. They'd be more real, less duplicitous, and probably listen to you and not stab you in the back. I will continue to explore that possibility. Chris, I know you're watching. I know you always listen to me, and like a guy who's been kicked out of 3 high schools, so much knowledge. But get information out of the government. But as far as approval, we don't need it. We don't need it. Like this big search for the government to have a big, I think there was a fantasy for a long time, and I was part of it, that there would be this big hearing and the government would lay out, not everything, but some go, hey, I was at the very least, you would think that they would go, hey, there's UFOs. We don't know what they are. We have no idea.
Simple,
no idea.
Honest.
They're just not ours.
I think it's a good time to just drop the that governments don't exist to tell us what our rights are. They also don't. They shouldn't exist to tell us what we can and cannot learn and know as far as truth goes.
Let's go over a little bit of that video from that old timer.
Sure, yeah, bring that up.
Did you want the still images?
Yeah, I was gonna say before we move
still images
off
first. Yeah,
of this, I snapped a couple that are kind of cool.
So this is art, by the way.
This is art. Yeah, this is not
art that is
an
made,
actual photo.
Yeah, not an actual
but this
photo.
is according to the video.
Yeah.
This is what this 1953 craft from Kingman, Arizona looked like. So, classic UFO.
Classic
saucer.
UFO. Classic saucer.
Classic.
I have another image that actually looks a lot more clear on that. So this is apparently a drawing of it.
Was this is this when they were saying this is like a training? Yeah, a flight simulator.
Yeah, flight simulator. So
they would
it's
train
about
in this
30. Oh my God, feet or meters? I don't know. Feet wide.
I can't read it. I can't
10
see.
feet. Well, let me find the actual measurements.
Well, did you see that second photo? Right. So that's when the thing's in flight.
Right. The second one, because then it flies like that.
Here we go.
That's how. Yeah. So when a UFO is in flight, it's tilted down.
About 20 to 30 degrees.
Yeah, and that we saw that with the Navy footage from the East Coast. Bob Lazar said that's how they fly. Probably has something to do with whatever is powering them with the element 115. It's a really simple, I don't even want to call it engine. Whatever the hell it is.
Mechanism.
It's a propulsion system.
It's a simple mechanism. It's a simple propulsion mechanism. And you think it would be. If you're that advanced, why not? You just use the least amount of material possible, the strongest amount of material. And so surface finish, brushed aluminum. Craft was found buried 20 feet into the sand. 4 humanoid beings were found near the craft. Primary eyewitness Arthur G. Stansel. 40 engineers, specialists examined the craft. Those are the ones that all came from Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Craft, and this is in the 50s. So this was near, was that outside of Vegas? It was between Vegas. Well, Kingman. So it was between Vegas
Kingman,
and
I posted the map. There's a map that
there's a map, and there wasn't a lot of roads out to Kingman.
It's in
there. Vegas in the 50s and out around Arizona. There just wasn't. So there was they got all the guys from Phoenix and they got them on a bus and they took them to Kingman.
Which the thing that got me the most was during the retelling that that each scientist who's like an expert in their field or in engineering or whatever it is, they got separated according to their specialty. So what one saw, the other might not have seen or touched or viewed. So I think that's like wild that they kept them that separate at
Yes.
the site.
Yep.
So there's some more art, obviously. No, it's a real picture.
It's like all those Twitter people posting the Arma 3 videos. Oh, this new development. And it's like everyone's just like, that's a video game.
That's a video game.
It's so funny.
It is.
Happens a lot.
So notice that it wasn't destroyed. And the four crew aliens were alive, right? They were alive.
Well, according to this real photo that we're looking at, the door is open. I mean, and there's a light coming from inside the vehicle. So obviously they, landed and came out.
Well, I don't know how it'd be a forced landing. Maybe they just landed. And who knows?
Yeah. When they say force, it's like who forced them? Was it themselves? Was it the government, Air
Was
Force?
it malfunctioning engine? I don't know. I don't know.
Did it run out of gas?
It ran out of gas. Ran out of petrol.
You mentioned element 115 and like the pilots, and I just had this thought of what if, like, we think about moving our hand, it's second nature, right? Where all it is just electrical impulses that we're sending through our body to connect to our hand and just move it whichever way we want. What if there's, to pilot these ships, you actually just connect with it and you just think of where to go and it just goes, right? I mean, I feel like that's how it would be to drive something that is capable of just going anywhere at any point, because it's obviously able to cut through like the physical world, right? Because we've seen it go into water and out of water, through water at speeds that are ridiculous. Like, what if that's how it worked. Oh, I'm just gonna go this way, or now I'm just gonna go this way.
Yep.
I just
So
thought it was
probably cool. It's probably a malfunction of some kind. That would, I mean, it even with a race of beings, a civilization that's much older than ours, if you're going that far, I could see things going wrong. Things still go wrong. They're not gods. They're not gonna not everything's gonna run perfectly. And just think how many we don't see. How many we don't see. I think they're here. They have been here for a long time. I am of the belief that we've probably been in contact, but they probably just really don't care about us very much. They're just observing. And what really brought the whole tall white thing was they want to contact us, but they fear us because maybe we're the conquerors. Maybe we're the eventual conquerors of the universe,
or we were
Dune. Maybe we're
then
Dune.
They cut us down, and now this is where we're at. Maybe we did conquer everything, and they were able to like fight back and put us here. And then we do have amnesia, but what we forgot was actually that we ran this shit. Just saying, it's an idea. There's a story there. You're welcome.
12,500 years ago.
Yeah. So we got some of these pictures. Then there's the old guy. Here we go. An M25 tank transporter was used to carry the disc from the original site over desert terrain and eventually across the Colorado River.
And it's these very precariously perched beams here that held it together.
Very real photo.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Ignore the artist's signature there at the bottom.
I know.
Don't worry about that.
The wild thing is, and this would be really cool, is when they did it across the river.
Yeah, river.
Well, supposedly the barge broke loose and actually floated down and hit the
dam,
the Hoover Dam. So they're saying like there could be like a dent where it actually like damaged the Hoover Dam because it floated down because it broke free of its moorings.
Okay, who's gonna go check it out?
I don't like swimming.
You don't like swimming?
Or scuba diving. I love it. want to touch the floor of the wall, like while I'm in the water. Otherwise, I might drown.
Okay, I see. That's
Gotcha.
that's how deep it's your limit. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that would be cool if that mark is there. Then it's like, it's real.
That would
It
be
did
cool
happen.
to see. Well, I mean, it could have been something else that someone saw and was like, I can make up a story. You know what I mean? I feel like it could be explained still.
Right.
There's still no, it doesn't prove it to me. Like someone could have just seen it when the water level's low. Like, hey, there's a big dent right there. I wonder if I could, say something like that.
It's just more evidence. I want more evidence. So if something like that, it just will hopefully lead to more answers. I'll probably have more questions as well. But yeah, so there's that. There was this picture here.
It was nighttime when team disembarked at the site. The bus parked approximately 50 feet from the object. Upon arrival, team members were told that they were here to examine a super secret Air Force vehicle that had come down. Each engineer scientist departed the bus according to their area of expertise. By the way, this is the guest. I should have his name. I'm sorry. From Richard Dolan's show, who presented all this.
Michael something.
Let me see if I have it up.
Let's get his name. Yeah. Give him some credit. Approximately 20 military police were guarding the area. The high intensity light fixtures were set up with to illuminate the area. The hatch opened on the craft, measured 3.5 feet high and 1.5 feet wide. 1.5
Michael
feet
Schratt.
wide. Michael Schratt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was Michael Schratt who, and again, we could link it in the description too, but I'm sure we can link the Richard Dolan interview
I got it
as
right here.
well. If you guys want to go check that out afterwards. Yeah, I wish, Richard would do more stuff on YouTube, but he's a busy man. He's a busy man. So we also have a 15-minute video that we'll just go over a little piece of. I probably should. I watched it, but it was like last week. So we'll watch a little bit of it. It's from X Twitter. I think I can call it X Twitter. That's about as far as I can go.
It's funny you say that because Elon was like, which is better, X or Twitter? And everyone's like, it's Twitter. You ruined it by calling it X. Everyone still calls it Twitter, and he's just getting roasted in the comments. It's pretty funny. Oh, no, it was a parody account, but still, it's funny.
It is funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Getting roasted. It's Twitter. Everyone calls it Twitter.
It's Twitter.
Spent 10 years in Marine Corps, 4 years working with the Air
Oh,
Force.
could you show the tweet? Because I want to get the guy's name.
Okay.
We could say, so this is Think Tank. I follow
Captain
Think Tank.
Bill Uhouse.
Captain,
I love this guy.
Fucking
I
A,
love
man.
him.
They don't make them like this anymore.
Dude, no, he's
Captain
awesome.
Bill Uhouse. On the Kingman UFO recovery, alluded to by Chris Mellon in today's screenshots. He mentions they captured aliens alive. So here we go. We can listen to
Doing experimental testing on aircraft. Since my Marine Corps days, I was a pilot in the service and a fighter pilot, and fought in World War II after the latter part of World War II and the Korean War conflict. After I got out of the Marine Corps, I took a job with the Air Force at Wright-Patterson, doing experimental flight testing on various different modifications and tech orders that they had incorporated into aircraft, various different aircraft, F-89, back then the B-47, F-102, and those aircraft. While I was at Wright-Patterson, of course, I was approached by an individual that, and I'm not going to mention his name, to determine if I wanted to work in an area on just new creative things, okay? And apparently that was the flying disc simulator. What they had done, they had selected several of us, and they reassigned me to Link Aviation, which was a simulator manufacturer. At that time, they were building what they call the C-11B and F-102 simulator, B-47 simulator, and so forth. and they wanted us to get the experience before we actually started work on the flying disc simulator, which I spent 30 some years working on.
Wow.
The simulator wasn't actually functional until around 1958, where the simulator was actually operable. Craft that they used to build, which is a 30-meter one, was the one that crashed in Arizona, Kingman, Arizona, back in 53 or 52. I think it was 53. That's the one they used. That's the first one that they took out to the test site. It landed about 15 miles from, which used to be an Army air base, which is now a defunct Army base. I forget, I can't recall the name of it. But that particular craft, there were some problems with, number one, getting it on the flatbed to take it up to Area 51. They couldn't get it across the dam because of the road. It had to be barged across the Colorado River at the time, and then taken up to where people go now, up 93, out to Area 51, which was just being really constructed at the time, and taken down those dirt roads and out to that particular area of the test site. There were 4 aliens aboard that thing, and those aliens went to Los Alamos, and they put certain people in there with them, people that were astrophysicists, just general scientists, to ask them questions. The way the story was told to me was there was only one of them that would talk to any of these scientists that they put in the lab with them. Only one of the aliens. The rest wouldn't talk to anybody, or even have a conversation with them.
Those are smart ones.
First they thought it was all ESP, or what do I want to say?
Telepathy.
Mental telepathy. But most of that is kind of a joke to me, because they actually speak. Maybe not like we do, but they actually speak and can converse.
Wait, how does he pause it?
The difference.
How the hell does he even know that? Did he meet him himself?
It was conveyed to him, he said.
Okay, I don't like how it's cut up. I don't.
Well,
it could be spliced together and changed. I don't like it at all. I can't stand that when there's such, especially short clips there. Oh, there's 4 aliens. Short clip.
There's probably a bigger
people,
raw. There's probably a bigger raw video that's longer, that cuts out a lot of the and-ums. We'll see.
Making me not trust this as much as I'd like to. I like this guy. I don't think he's a good actor. I think he's telling his story, but I don't trust the way that this is edited. That I don't like it. When is this from?
This is from Think Tank, and it's probably just reused footage of an old archived. I don't know where the source comes from. That would be my guess, but it definitely looks like it's just edited down, because he probably gives lots of background on himself. Yeah, and it's just like, we need a little background. We don't need the whole thing. We just need the bullet points of this. That's the way I'm saying it. It depends on who made this, and it depends. So yeah, we can't go through the whole thing. You're welcome to watch the whole thing, and maybe we can find the source of this, probably from a documentary. That would be my guess. We'll see if we get hit. We'll know the answer if we get hit. But I don't know. The old guy's really a fucking, that's Robert De Niro right there. Or
No, he sounds like he's been through a lot. He's been through a couple wars. Like, dude knows what he's talking about. He's speaking from a matter of fact. I don't know. You could tell he's got weight behind his words. So I like him. I just don't like the way it's edited. And if they're editing out the questions, I'd rather hear the questions. I want to hear. I want to watch the original, the interview. Like, I'd watch it. I'm intrigued.
And a lot of those UFO documentaries, they cut out the questions.
Right.
Yeah.
I could see that making sense. If
Yeah.
that's what it is.
It's a time thing.
Mhm.
James Fox is working on a new one. It's been talking about. I think it's supposed to
Ooh.
come out in the next
Okay.
month or so. Yeah.
Nice.
We'll do a review of that for sure.
Can't wait for that.
He's 3 years younger than Gary, probably. Probably.
Yeah, he doesn't sound scripted. I agree with Lady Aaron.
We'll see. We'll see.
Did you want me to press play or?
So we can hear a little more.
Sure.
Can't play the whole thing though.
Difference
long as we're
between
fine,
this
we're
aircraft
still up.
and
Yeah, let me back it up a tiny.
the difference between this aircraft or this disc and other discs that they had looked at was that it was much simpler design. In the simulator, it was one big thing different. The thing that like Lazar calls the reactor. Okay, we didn't have a reactor. We had a space and a thing that looked like the reactor, but that wasn't the thing we operated the simulator with. We operated with 6 large capacitors that were charged with 1 million volts each. Say there were 6 million volts in those capacitors. They're largest capacitors ever built. These particular capacitors, they last for 30 minutes. So you could get in there and actually work the controls and do what you had to get the aircraft or get the simulator, the disc to operate, okay? Actually, when it was operable, it would lift off the ball about a certain amount of there was a dimension there that we had that it actually lifted up, and it could actually turn, a certain amount of degrees left to right or whatever. In a simulator now, you'll notice that there are no seat belts, right? And the same thing with the actual craft, no seat belts. You don't need seat belts because when you fly one of these things upside down, there's no upside down like in a regular aircraft. You just don't feel it. You have your own gravitational field right inside. So if you're flying upside down, to you, you're right side up. There weren't any windows. The only place we had any visibility at all, and it was done with cameras or video type things at that time, was in the turret section.
Sorry. So if there's a gravity field that cancels out gravity outside, I wonder if that also, someone just said it in chat, the inertial dampeners. Jim Eagle. Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Maybe that's how they're able to make these crazy, split changes in trajectory that it seems improbable that would smash us against the wall and completely destroy us.
As he just said, like you're basically standing. It's like pretty much all the sci-fi we see. Like none of it would make sense other than maybe the Expanse, but none. We always have the dampener. They have some technology to explain it, but like why people aren't flying around in the fucking spaceship, basically,
right?
And they're all able to walk around. Yeah, that's probably what it was. But I guess the bigger question is if there's a gravitational field that's like it's artificial art, like are you even technically here then? In the sense of you're here, or are we just seeing you in your basically your own little pocket universe? Like, we don't know how gravity works. We have no idea how gravity works. We have zero idea. So could that explain them, flying into the ocean with no splash, no speed change, flying through a mesa, like a lot of the orb stuff, a lot of the transparent stuff, I mean, basically would it cloak it? I would say, yeah. I would say for the most part, if you're bending light, if light's going to bend around that, then you're cloaked for the most part. So I think that would, if it's that technology is real, that would explain a lot. And then the only time we see stuff is maybe somebody just has that perception. Maybe there's a mechanical error. I don't know. Like I put that in air quotes, mechanical. We don't even know if it's mechanical or not. Maybe there's some kind of weather anomaly, some kind of sun thing that affects it. Well, I don't fucking know. But if there's enough of them here, there will be accidents. And even Lazar said it. This was the thing that was like, I really like what he said about this. I know some people don't like Lazar, and I'm like, Lazar's never gone out to the desert and charged people $3,000 to do some hippie shit. He's never done that. He hates
Probably
interviews. He hasn't written a book. He was part of a documentary, but like he had to be talked into that too. And that was through George Knapp, basically. But the thing I liked what he said, he's like, we're messing with this. That made it kind of sound real to me. We're messing with something we have no understanding of, and we could just blow the shit out of Nevada. I mean, and they break it out every 10 years. And there's been deaths. I could see like, hey, it's been a decade. We haven't tried to crack element 115 and that weird basketball engine. Let's try it. Give the monkeys some hammers to bang on it some more.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone volunteer?
Anyone?
No one? Oh, all right. You get in there.
Yeah, I don't know. This guy doesn't sound full of crap to me.
Well, the more he talks, the more I really want to see the full interview.
Yeah. Oh,
this is cool.
Yeah. I will do some digging tonight.
Yeah, this was a great find
tonight.
Check it out here if you want to watch the full thing.
Huh?
Think Tank 528 Vibes.
Think Tank 528 Vibes puts up a lot of UFO videos and stuff. It's part of there's the whole UFO Twitter thing. I try to follow everybody on UFO Twitter. Got to do a better job of it, but I try. Don't know where Secure Team's been. I know his dad just died. So
it's a bummer.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I just want receipts. I want to see the thing.
Dude, I want
That's
you know what? I want a UFO. Well, I want a UFO to crash right in front of me. While I'm driving down the road. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they say like people
one.
got sick when they went on the actual
that
mechanism?
Was one of the yes, they said some. Okay, so that was one of the things that they talked about on the Richard Dolan show. Is some of the scientists who went inside got ill, very, very ill. There was something that was they would be able to go in for little spurts, and they would start getting disoriented, and then throw up, start puking. I could totally see that happening.
Was it Mexico? The one where the soldier got sick and passed away. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah,
that was when he made contact with an alien. So you're talking about the Brazilian Roswell.
Brazilian, yeah. Sorry.
Right,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he made physical contact with the alien that smelled like ammonia and had kind of greasy and oily. And probably had something to do with their atmosphere and died within 24 hours. I think that would be like the most logical thing is like you're coming from another planet. Who knows how your planet developed? You could have methane oceans. Yeah. I don't know. Just being in our atmosphere would be poison to you and vice versa. And us being near you would kill us.
You know those scientists getting into that ship. Have you guys been in earthquakes before? I'm sure you have.
Mild.
Yes. Many.
So,
many.
That people get sick because their equilibrium gets thrown off, right? And if there's like a gravity field in these ships, right? And maybe they're not operating at 100% where you walk in and you're in a different zone, right? Like, all right, I'm still comfortable with my equilibriums, understanding that we're standing in a spot. But if it's running at half mast, whatever, and you walk in and it's like tripping with you, suddenly like, gravity's tweaked, then I could see them getting sick, right? I mean, people get seasick, people get car sick. Imagine that, but amplified because there's actually some sort of force that's messing with gravity from these ships. I could see that being a very easy way.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, like, how do animals know an earthquake is going to happen before it happens? Well, their senses are better, So they
Hmm.
feel the disturbance happening before we do. That would be my guess. But the last two big earthquakes I felt, it was at night, and I woke up before they happened, before they hit. Like
Really?
yeah, especially that Napa one. The one that hit Napa back in 2016, something like that. 16,
Yeah.
17. Big one in
But
Napa.
you woke up before.
I woke up before it hit. Yes.
Interesting.
Darted up in my bed. I'm like, what? And all of a sudden it starts. I'm like, oh, this is a good one. And I'm like,
Wow.
do I? Because like you could tell, like, is this a point where do I need to wake up the family and get the hell out of the house? And you
Right.
give it a second, right? Because it could dissipate. But if it starts ramping up, and it started ramping up pretty good, and then it mellowed out. But because it wasn't centered under us, and we were on bedrock at the time. So that's why we picked our location in San Francisco, because it was on bedrock. It makes a big difference. If then a lot of San Francisco is just fucking landfill shit. It's dredged sand from the bay. Like the whole Sunset is dredged sand from the bay. The whole side, if you're familiar with San Francisco, that's like the suburban area of it. Just lots of houses, very tiny houses that are squished up against each other. A lot of Asian people, and so it's the Sunset, and it's all on dredge. That would be a bad place for an earthquake. But yeah, earthquake lights, their thing.
What's that?
Their thing. It's what the scientific hypothesis, I don't know if that's the right term of it, is it's just created by the crust, and there's granite, and it creates like a rainbow effect in the sky from all the friction.
Cool.
Friction. Yeah.
That's cool. Never heard of that.
Yeah, there's actual
Cool.
pictures of earthquake lights.
Let me see if I can find any.
Yeah, just looks like a little prism light in the sky. That's all.
It's just a quick Google search. Like
No,
this
it's
one.
not. That's not it. No.
No.
Okay, the one go down. Okay, go all the way to the left. But that's still prism in the clouds. But that's kind of what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
No, down one more. No, not that one. Not that one.
Oops.
In the daytime, right there.
Oh, like
That's-
a segmented rainbow.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what they look like. That could be from, but that picture could be from just fucking sunlight, as far as I know. But
Yeah.
there's that's the thing. The earthquake clouds, the earthquake lights. There's also like clouds that glow. That's
Right.
it's normal shit.
Mhm.
How big of an earthquake have you been in, X-ray girl?
I think it was a 3 point something. It just felt as if a train drove past, or
Yeah, when they get big enough to where you see the ground going, like
yeah.
that's pretty gnarly.
Never seen that. I've been in one
That's
myself.
gnarly.
I was in New
The
York.
last one I felt, well, I actually felt one here, which was weird. I'm like,
In
"God,
Texas?
yeah,
Can't get away. Huh?
little one, can't get away from. Well, I mean, there's lots of caverns and stuff, so there's probably a lot of shit falling down, whatever. But I was just finished up a live stream. We were getting ready. I was in San Diego in my Escondido house. We're getting ready to leave. It was like 2 days before I was going to leave, and there was an earthquake centered like a mile away from
Whoa.
where it was. And I'd never felt an earthquake like that, because it was like somebody picked up the crust and dropped it. It just went,
Ooh,
and
that's
it
scary.
from where you could hear from where it was epicentered. I was looking east towards the mountains in Escondido, and the sound came towards me. It was really
Wow.
weird. It was like
Wow.
I've never been that close to an epicenter. That's why.
It's cool.
It was like a 4.3, but nothing big. But I mean, they would have called massive press conferences and shut down the subway in New York, and
I'm sure they would have.
yeah, called the Ghostbusters. Jesus Christ. That was so funny. People were trying to defend New York. I'm like, come on, you're tough, New York. What New York is here? We got a 3.5. Everybody panic. Come on,
Yeah.
California. I got to give you guys shit for something. All right.
Dude, New York is not the same as it used to be, man.
No, it's not.
It's sad.
It's
Spirit's
not.
gone.
All right. So okay, before we get into super chats, Adam, overall thoughts on Skinwalker Ranch's first episode?
I'm excited that it's back. I am worried that it's going to be a lot of the same kind of stuff. I really want them to get under the mesa. I want to see what's under there. They seem to be focused on this air anomaly, and I'm not really that interested in it because there's not a lot of ways that they can prove it other than, like, the rocket blew up at that one spot.
If a
It
rocket
looked like-
disappears in it, then we're talking.
Exactly. Like if it shoots up and is just gone, or some, I'm not interested in this air thing, and they seem to be like really focused on that, and like, let's try to not have them think about the mesa anymore because they probably don't want to dig. I have a feeling it's probably
They're
expensive.
elongating it too, so that
Yeah,
they have more
probably.
seasons, right?
Yeah, I think they have 14 episodes. I think it was tighter when it was 10, right? They opened up with 10, I believe. In the
Okay,
first
now
one.
it's 14.
Now it was 14 last year. I'm assuming because they haven't said anything. I'm assuming it's the
Okay.
same because the show's immensely popular. It is an immensely popular show.
Good.
It does
That
very
means
well
it'll
for them.
keep happening.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but I'm excited. It's cool to have it back.
No, it's a good week
enjoying it.
for unscripted TV. We got Skinwalker back. We got Clarkson's Farm coming back on Friday. Like, it's a good week for unscripted TV.
Cool.
Not a very good year for movies.
That's
at
an
all.
understatement.
All.
Jeez.
No, dude. Oh,
That's what happened the last time movies went down and TV went down, right? Reality television had a
well, yeah. Tiger
It
came. Well,
was-
COVID. It was during COVID. Tiger
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
and stuff. No, we got House of the Dragon in a month. I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be
that
good.
was a good show. I enjoyed that show.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Sweet.
Mhm.
All right. Let's get the first. Do I have to here? Let me get.
I calculated the number of, or do you want to use the chart I
I
made?
don't know. You tell me. No.
No?
Yes.
No. Okay. Yes.
For
Okay.
for the
Maybe.
Wandering Wolf Peru thing.
Oh, you want to put that up? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
What is the other thing?
Now
you
we're
were
going
talking
to
about?
Stoops. Never mind. We were on the wrong wavelength. I can pull up his the promo image here. So something's coming up in October for us. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah. So in October, we had Mike Collins on from Wandering Wolf. Please check out that episode. Yeah, something's really messed. I don't usually say this shit because I think a lot of it, it's just, I always think it's me, but like I did get confirmation, like YouTube's really fucked up right now. Like I think they made some change and they broke it a little bit. It's gonna get better. It always does.
Okay.
Dude, it breaks once a year. I mean, like that's kind of normal. It's kind of
Okay.
normal. So it's nothing to panic about, but
The
it
amount of
definitely happened.
information that they're using and transferring, it's
Your guess is
insane
as
to
good as
actually
mine.
think about.
Gemini, it's an election year, or maybe they, who knows that, like when they implemented shorts, they fucked it up for a month. They absolutely
Yeah.
fucked it up for a month, and then it got better. It's all right. I mean, it just happens. But go check out that episode. It was also our first one
good.
back after a 2-week break. Megalithic journey in Peru. Machu Picchu. Sexy woman. Oh, I'm sorry, sexy woman. Olaten Tambo. I can never say this one.
I feel like you had it.
I almost had it.
Tambo.
Commit.
Olaten Tambo.
Good job.
Thank you. David Hatcher Childress says it all the time. He says it more better, but I like Saxe Woman. I can say Saxe Woman all day long.
Yeah,
I
you
can
can.
say
I'm
yeah.
sure you can.
Heyo.
This trip is because Peru, a little bit of a difference in monetarily. So this trip is like extremely affordable. Extremely
Mhm.
affordable. Now,
Right.
our other friends of ours do trips, and we will definitely promote them for sure. But we're going to be on, and we'll probably be on those. Like our good friend Ben does a bunch of trips. Luke is doing trips. So definitely, if you want to go on a guided tour to Egypt or to Turkey, and maybe Mike is going to do some too, I'm sure. Like, check these guys out because they get everything all set up. They got the hotel. With this one, it is, I think you got to get your airfare, right?
You have to get your airfare, and most meals are covered. There's a couple dinners and lunches you'll have to take care of, but you got breakfast, transportation, the guided tour part. And I mean, he's going to be a wealth of knowledge, and he's been there quite a few times before. So I think that would be the coolest part, is that he's actually been there and he knows a lot of stuff about specifically the buildings.
Oman is going to be freaking awesome. I mean, all of it is, but so you got Nikki Anna Jones. Follow her on Twitter, please. And of course, Wandering Wolf, follow them on Twitter. They both have YouTubes as well. Again, it's really affordable, and we're going.
Mhm.
Adam can't go because he's a dad now,
Well,
which
yeah.
sucks. But
I
I mean,
mean-
that sucks that you're a dad. It sucks that you can't go.
What?
The timing. Okay, I just sorry.
I don't know, man. I'll be honest. I kind of want to go. It's a week.
It's just a week. That's what makes
I know.
that's what makes it
That's
doable.
what I'm saying. I mean,
It's not like
it just
3 weeks,
it feels like
it's a week.
Look. You talk about this
There
being
was a
your
script that I was supposed
retirement.
to read.
That's fine. You got
right?
most of it.
Did I get
And,
most of it?
yeah.
Did I do okay? Okay.
Okay. No, you said you wanted to retire. Like, you want this to be something that really shines, right? And I want to be a part of it. And because I love doing this stuff. I love researching these things and reading about it. And, the UFO stuff, I'm still learning. But like this is what I'm excited about. This ancient civilizations. And this is a place that I've always wanted to go to. Very high on my list of, places in the world. And I don't want to miss it.
I would like to put as much focus on this subject matter as I do Hollywood. That is my goal.
I would love that. Because I'm
my goal.
right there with you.
Okay.
Definitely. I love this stuff.
That is being very optimistic and hopeful that either, it just completely fucking dies, which I don't want it to do, Hollywood, or it gets fixed. One of the two is going to happen. I'm pretty sure it's just going to kind of fade. That's where it's looking like it's going. Like, there'll still be some good stuff, and then I'll just review television probably in some movies. And then
nothing wrong with that.
We start making videos for this stuff. Because I mean, while a lot of I think there is some room for weekly videos, daily videos that are clipped from this live stream that not a lot of people do, because they're actually out there traveling. That takes a lot of time. A lot of time. So I think if we did it in, I'm very open about this. I don't care. If we did it in the style that we did, like I do Nerdrotic, I think there's a lot of room for a lot of information that would be fun. A lot more interviews, for sure. We're going to get some at Cosmic Summit. So I'm excited about that.
All these links are in the description. So if you're interested in anything, you can check it out there. If you can't make it to Cosmic Summit, there is a link that you can get the virtual conference. And I believe you get to keep a copy of all that as well, or access to the copies of videos that happen over there, which would be really cool.
And we'll do some stuff. We'll do like a couple of member exclusive things there, and then interviews for everybody. But eventually, I want to make videos on these subjects, short form videos, and check these places out and bring you stuff. Hey, maybe do Forbidden Frontier more than once a week.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Cool. I'm down for that.
So, hopefully, we'll see. Ain't getting any younger, not getting any younger.
None of us.
And this subject is a pure joy for me. So
same.
I don't know about you guys out there, but it's pure joy for me.
Just so you know, at least for Peru, there is going to be a couple hikes. So just make sure you read the itinerary.
You're ready.
You're able to do it as well.
Yeah. There's altitude. For one, there's just altitude. So that's like just walking around like a normal person in altitude, which takes some getting used to. Believe me, I landed in Colorado one time, and that's not even near as high as where we're going to go. and I lost my lunch in a trash can when I was there. I got
Oh my god.
maybe it was the aliens at the Denver airport because like as soon as I got off the plane, I got insanely ill.
Wow.
Insanely ill. Threw up in a fucking trash can. Back then they had like a little smoking section you can go to. Had a fucking heater, and then felt better, but never felt that in my life. I'm like, what the fuck was that? You know. All right. It's altitude sickness. It's a thing. Did everybody's Aztec death whistle work as advertised? Yes.
Yes, it did.
Yes, they did. Saw the video of guy connecting it to a leaf blower. It was scary. Oh, no shit.
Oh, that's
That's
freaky.
Enrico Palazzo for $5. Thank you. Okay. Lots of memberships today. Jerk Off Juggernaut has donated, for one, is a new member, by the way. Is a new member.
I counted all his memberships for those ones, by the way. Do you
How
want me
many?
to?
Yeah.
It's 26, at least in this set.
Damn!
There you
Jerk
go.
off juggernaut.
You jerked off a lot.
A lot of jerking off. Well, he's a juggernaut. He can
I
handle
mean,
it.
you know,
He can handle it. I'm the jerk off juggernaut, bitch.
look, if you got jerked off by the juggernaut, give some thanks in the
Oh,
chat,
no.
all right?
That sounds violent.
I mean,
It was consensual.
yeah.
Oh my god. Thank you, jerk off juggernaut.
Thank you.
Thank
mate.
you. Logan Miller. Thank you, Logan. That's a good first name right
With
there.
5. Thank
Gifted
you so
5
much.
Nerdrotic Live memberships. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's my son's name. Josh Kelsey drops 20, walks away. That's what he does. Josh said something the other day. I read it.
Really?
In Square Up.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. He said Adam was gay. No, I'm just kidding. That's not
Wow.
what he
No, he misspelled Dan Vask.
Oh, he did.
That makes sense.
Poor Dan.
Yeah.
Roasted him in my last video. Got a little one in there.
Little jab in there.
Little jab in there. I told Gary in Vegas already, but I remember driving out to Skinwalker Ranch. I remember this conversation while camping, and I got a weird headache as we approached the gates. Went away as soon as we left. Believe in the unbelievable.
Ah.
Hot Grape Studios for $10. I remember you telling me that. And it's like, I want to go to the gate. They probably have so many people going to the gate. It's probably so freaking annoying for them.
Oh, I'm
Lots of
sure
security,
it
I'm
is.
sure, to make sure people.
Oh,
don't-
there's tons. Well, the guy,
We should show up and be like, yeah, but we're Forbidden Frontier though.
yeah, don't you know?
Come on.
Don't you know who I am?
You're like, I'm in your fan club.
I'm in your fan club. I'm fan club member 4254425.
Do you have like a little pin that you can wear?
Yeah.
Like,
I've got you got the card. There's a card. Oh, they changed the portal though. I need to remember to do that because they have a website now. But that's not just connected to YouTube. But yeah, I got sticker. I got a T-shirt. I got a little card,
So cute.
little pamphlet. Yeah. Oh God. Hey, I joined a lot of fan clubs when I was a kid. Okay, I was part of the Kiss Army.
okay.
Yeah, I was part of the Kiss Army, Star Wars fan club. One of the OG members.
Cool.
That's right.
Love it. Love it.
That's cool.
Justin Martins for $10. Did Zorbu finally get quarter black? Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Well, if we have a stuffed Zorbu, we need to decide what he looks like. We don't even have.
We don't
a
even
Zorbu.
know
We don't know
his
what a Zorbu
Color
looks like.
is.
I said in chat, I was like,
Please.
people are like, well, what about, is there a stuffed quarter black plushie? And I'm like,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
the Zorbu comes with a mini
That'd be
quarter
so
black
cute.
plushie.
Speaking of plushies, I mean, if you like it,
with a
well,
little
Eldritch
probe.
God,
Never mind.
there's a plushie for Mahler. We have real BBC plushies out right now. Real
Cool.
BBC plushies.
Yep,
Jerk
make
Off
sure-
Juggernaut has just gifted 50 Nerdrotic Live memberships. 50. What's the math on that? X-ray girl.
250.
250.
Wow.
Wow. Holy shit. Jerk off Juggernaut. He just jerked all you off. Sorry,
Man, he must be young.
is it too much? No.
He's very active.
Thank you so much, dude. That
a
is
lot of
huge.
vitality right there.
Wow.
Hot damn.
Hail Jerk Off Juggernaut.
Amazing.
Or maybe he's just Zorbu. We don't know.
My
Cave-
Steam
Cave-
Deck's not working right now.
Caveman Dave for £5 British proper money. Hail Gary's Forbidden Frontier background legit needs to be a Winnebago with a ham radio setup.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like the space shot.
I like the space shot too, but that's not bad either.
Winnebago
And-
with the
well, I
ham
mean,
radio.
we could freaking AI art something like that in a second. Like
True.
in a second.
Wait,
Uh,
what were you what were you driving in the poster? Hold on. I got it here. What
You
were
got
driving in
two.
this
You
thing?
have 200.
Oh no, it was a double-decker bus, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a double-decker bus.
Oh,
That's what it
yeah.
was.
There
Is
is a camper, Melissa and I forgot the name of it now. Yeah, it's a double-decker
Aw.
bus.
Yeah.
There was a camper that Melissa and I liked. It was parked outside our gym. We looked it up. It was $175,000.
Oh,
I was like,
that's it?
That's a fucking condo, dude.
That's
I can
a
get a
freaking
condo
house,
for that.
a small house.
Yeah, that's a
I would
small
just
house.
mod one yourself.
Yeah,
Holy
it was
shit.
rad. No, it had like Starlink and an office, and the dude was chilling. And it was like, it wasn't a massive 45-foot one. It was like a van. It was like a Sprinter van,
Mm.
but it wasn't a Sprinter van. And it looked cool as fuck. But dude, $175,000.
That's
Crazy.
pretty freaking cool.
Again, you can find. It'll be hard, but you could find a fixer-up
That's what she
condo in
said.
like California, in Palm Springs for that. I'd rather do that. I'd rather have something that's stationary that would appreciate in value and not depreciate the minute I bought it. That's
Facts.
but yeah,
These are facts.
no, we'll just rent them. You can rent them. It's just
True.
easier to rent them.
You
Yeah.
can rent mine if you want to travel around Europe.
Sure.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Lance Thrustcock for $19.99. We found out on Thursday that my dad only has a few days left. Oh no.
Man.
Wanted to say thanks, y'all, for keeping me distracted for the last few months. You're welcome. Thank
Cheers,
you,
mate.
Forbidden Frontier. Hail to you all in the chat. Fuck cancer. Fuck cancer. That got my
Fuck
dad.
cancer.
Absolutely.
What? I didn't mean to hit that.
Sorry, Lance.
Sorry, Lance. Fuck cancer. Yeah, it got my dad over 20 years ago. So, shit. We're thinking about you, buddy.
Yep.
Nicholas Horton, Justice for Rebecca Edge Runners, has been a member for 5 months. So Adam is going to go full Dr. Robotnik with the big curled up mustache. And are skinwalkers related to the interdimensional Anunnaki? Maybe.
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 Maybe. Please refer to the Anunnaki special on the Y-Files. They fucking finally did it.
Yeah, it was great. Ooh, it's starting to curl. I've been like playing with it. I need
Yeah,
to get
it's
some
gotta- you gotta
wax.
get
I
it-
don't have any.
So see, I could curl mine.
Yeah, I see.
You got to get
you
it a
got that.
little longer. I don't, but I could. I have in the past.
Yeah,
but,
I've been getting rid of this and then just going under and letting them get longer. I've never had a stash before, so I'm curating, I'm learning.
Oh, some of the kids like the stash now.
I feel like
they
it's
all-
so
they-
itchy.
It just looks
Eh,
yours. You know what? Do the stylistic thing. Don't just do the boring stash. You're just gonna look like a porn star, but 70s porn star.
that's fine.
Unless that's the look you're going for, which is fine. The only gold to come off
The
Oak
white flag.
Island. The only gold to come off, dude, that's all that counts, baby. That's all that counts. The
There
only
it is.
gold to come off of Oak Island was found by metal detectorists. Really?
That probably wasn't on the show either.
And it was probably like naturally like normal gold that like you
Yeah.
know it's not wasn't left there by Templars.
Right. Wasn't in a treasure chest.
Yeah, they have found some symbols there and stuff, and I just think, okay, well, you know, somebody was probably there in the past, and it's like I'm gonna die here, so
Wow.
I'm gonna carve this cross in this rock.
Yeah, humans
So I
were
came to
here
this-
once.
I came to this godforsaken place and couldn't get my way out, couldn't get home. Shit. You guys listened to the episode Sean Ryan's show he did on with
Yes.
Randall Carlson.
It was so good.
He goes on details about the episode he did with Rogan and that inventor guy that Rogan will never release. Oh, I have not seen the Sean Ryan's one.
You should.
Oh, Sean Ryan's is what was his
You know what?
what was his name? That was a
came
con
out.
is
I
that
never saw it.
concrete or is that different? Is Sean
But
Ryan
that was that was like the inventor was a scam, right? Who was telling us about
well, Malcolm Bendel will be at the Cosmic Summit, so we can find
That's
out.
him?
He's doing a presentation. I
About
fully
plasmoids?
I fully intend to go.
Oh shit.
I fully
Okay.
intend to go.
Yeah, good.
Jimmy thinks he's an Jimmy, Ben from Suspicious Observers, Graham, and others think he's a complete fraud,
Sham. Yeah.
sham. So you just got to be fair and balanced here. Some of our friends don't like him.
Yep.
Well, friends and guests we've had on. But yeah, we'll see. You should absolutely let everybody talk, though. I mean, like, as much as the weird hippie woo-woo shit that's at Contact in the Desert, I don't believe in this. People should have their symposiums and be allowed to talk. I just won't go to them. I just simply don't go to them. There's enough. Contact was actually great last year because, you know, we got to see, I got to see Graham a bunch of times, but we got to see Nick Pope ended up being a very pleasant surprise. He was great. I got to get you those. I have the burner. I have the disc burner, Adam.
Oh, yeah.
I just need to
Oh,
hook
yeah,
it
I
up
forgot about those.
and burn the disc. I have them in case. I gave him like little covers and everything too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fun.
Could have
so
brought them to London and just handed them to me, but
you know what? Did I
all
read
right.
the rest of that?
I think so. Wait,
Are
let
you
me-
sure? I'm not sure. You can read it.
I will read the next one.
yeah, you read it all. I just
Okay, I
checked.
did.
You-
Okay.
you did.
Oh, okay.
You read it all.
I left Stephen Greer when he charged $3,000 for hippie desert shite. That's pretty much when I did too. Anytime they start going to hippie desert shite, I'm done. I'm out of there. I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
totally
like that.
fine with, hey, let's go out in the desert with night vision goggles and look and see if we see anything. I mean, that's fun. That's like a interactive experience. You probably won't see some, but like, that's fun. But like saying you're going to conjure them through meditation, that's a bit much for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Where are all the quarter earthlings at? Not Zorbu. Where are all the quarter earthlings at? I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows?
Simon Ho for 5 Canadian pesos. My ex-girlfriend, Ice Tongue.
That's her name. Her name is Ice.
Her
Tongue.
name is Ice Tongue.
Ice Tongue. I'm gonna like.
I read it a few times.
Am I gonna date somebody named Ice Tongue? There's a lot of ways you can take that.
Maybe
No,
maybe she's
that's
a
his name
rapper.
for her now.
Well, no, maybe she's cold as ice. Maybe she's really good with
That's
the
what I
quips.
think.
Maybe she's just really good with the quips. You got to be like
She's
on your
cold-blooded.
banter game with this woman. Okay, I don't know. Saw a triangle UFO as a kid. Speaking of Skinwalker, Mark Hamill's daughter in-law's new professional name is Luca Skinwalker.
Nice.
Luca Skinwalker. It's Luke Skinwalker. I definitely referred to him that in the Rise of Palpatine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and of course, at the end of Mandalorian season 2, that was definitely Luke Skinwalker. Surprising that no one has connected Lonnie Zamora UFO encounter with the Tic Tac UFO seen off the Pacific coast, New Mexico object seen over 60 years ago. I think maybe some have. I can't remember. They weren't similar shapes. But Lonnie Zamora comes off as very credible because it ruined his fucking life. Like, it ruined his life.
Oh, we talked about this guy.
Yeah.
Right. All right. I remember this. Yeah. Yeah.
So
and you know what? He didn't give a shit about proving it to other people. He just wanted to know that he wasn't crazy himself.
Yep.
And I'm glad that he got that actually later on, right? Didn't he?
He did, and like
Because
it's
other
like it's not like he
people-
was told. Like it just he had to leave town, and his
Right.
the last interview, he passed away. So his last interview with his widow, and she makes it sound very sad, very sad. I live near Chaco Canyon, New Mexico. In 2023, I recorded lights over Chaco, white fading in and out and moving over that area for several nights from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m., various altitudes. See, that's the kind of shit I want to see. Are you aware of Chaco Canyon UFO activity? I'm not aware of UFO activity. I'm aware of Chaco Canyon. That's the place I intend to go.
But they're not satellites, right? Because I feel like
Fading,
a lot of people.
It depends on
fade
how
in and
he
out.
saw them. They do fade in and out because they spin. Some of them spin, so it's the
Right.
light reflecting off, and that actually, I've seen that. I've
Right.
seen that,
Same.
but it's a UFO. It's not a UFO.
But if you don't
it's a
know what
satellite.
it is, technically to you, that's a UFO.
No,
'cause
you
you
know,
don't know what it is.
I used to camp out in Joshua Tree back in the 90s, and dude, there was no like light pollution, so you're seeing all kinds
Beautiful.
of crazy shit. So that's the one thing. We saw something blinking and moving real fast. I'm like, it's a satellite. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Incomp 187. There we go. Shake from Hunger Team says is a member. Hail.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hail has gifted
Oh.
5 Nerdrotic Live memberships.
Hey.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All
What's up,
right.
Shake? The
My
Grizzly
man.
for $10. Adam, the premise about ancient humans is already a story. It's called Homeworld, and it is a storied RTS series that goes back to 1998. It inspires Battlestar Galactica 2004.
Cool. Well,
Very cool.
isn't Battlestar Galactica a remake from like back
Battlestar
in the
Galactica.
70s?
Yeah, so I mean, it like maybe elements inspired, but yeah, Battlestar Galactica is inspired by a lot of the stuff we talk about.
Yeah,
Glenn
I'm sure,
Larson
yeah.
just that was kind of in the cultural lexicon back then. The ancient astronauts.
Mhm.
So they just borrowed a lot from Zachariah Sitchin and from and why am I blanking on his name now? Cherry to the
You do it.
gods. Eric Von Daniken. Yeah.
Hmm.
And you know, In Search of was big. So that a lot of that stuff was borrowed from that. And I would love for them to remake the proper Battlestar Galactica with the aliens, in it. So Adam Brandon Sanderson beat us to the exact story. The Skyward series, Alien Coalition imprison humans after a war. It's a good series.
Wow. I have
Brandon
to read
Sanderson.
I have to read
Yeah.
that.
I have
Now
I
I have to read it.
lots of Brandon stuff. He's a great writer.
Yep.
Wait, what is it called?
It's called Skyward. Skyward.
Okay. Yeah, I need that.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Does that guy write
you.
books in his sleep?
Yes.
Does he go to the bathroom and write a book?
Yes. Yeah, a full book.
Full book?
It's insane how much he writes. But I'm here for it.
The only unexplained disappearances I believe in is when I leave pizza alone with my dog. No one can say where that food goes. I right, Andrew?
I believe
It's a
you.
total mystery. Toilet bug for $5. Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
Vegas.
Vegas was
baby.
fun.
It was. I joined the Church of Subgenius. Praise Bob, says the Happy Plague Doctor, who's been a member for 13 years. Diego
Months.
Salazar has been a member for 11 months. If you go buy some cocoa candy, those are fucking amazing. They taste like sweet tea. Oh, hell yeah.
Cool.
Peruvian food. I'm actually eager to check that out because it sounds like normal food. It's not like going to Iceland and you go to Reykjavik and you eat like spoiled shark. And they're like, well, you're supposed to eat it because it goes better with this fucking turpentine liquor you need to drink. It's like, fucking A, man.
Well, I mean, like I was in Chile and Argentina shortly before like I started doing this sort of stuff, and the meats that are there from like the cows, they're just so freaking good.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, can't wait to go back there one day. And the wine, but you know, I don't drink wine as much as I used to.
Now
RV
it's
can
all
move
hard
out of
liquor.
So Aaron Bacon makes a good point, but I don't live in California anymore. But RVs can move out of California, building out of California, a building in an earthquake can't, obviously.
True. And
I'm in
also
Texas.
escape the zombies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there's
in California.
earthquakes in Palm Springs, but and there's big ones. But because you're right next to the fault, the San Andreas Fault. You can actually travel to go look at it because you can visually see it near Palm Springs. But it's really flat and everything is really short and stout. It's mid-century modern. My wife loves that shit. It's like there's no buildings. So you're kind of fine. Gary, where did you buy that cool shirt from? Melissa bought it, native road, for $2 at, I think, fucking Ross or someplace like that.
It's pretty
It's-
good.
My
make you-
conspiracy shirt. There you go.
Ah, very cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to get my Wi-Fi shoes.
You have to show us when it comes in.
Oh, of course.
I can't wait.
Slap my feet up on the desk.
Like,
Like, what's up, guys? How you
nice.
doing?
There's a couple of Streamlabs as well.
Let's do it.
So Zoltar for $10 says a wizard is never late, only gray. And Zorbu for $25
There he
says,
is.
Hail Earthlings. Zorbu and crew were sad to hear Earth Gary had to put his dog Parker down. Zorbu just had to put his pet down too, so we landed next to Governor. Oh no.
Oh, goodness.
Christy Noam's farm in South Dakota, and the rest is history.
Oh.
I
Yep.
think I highlighted this by accident, but long last name also gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships as
Oh,
well.
thank you. Hey.
So thank you guys.
Thanks for all the memberships
appreciate
today,
it.
guys.
Yeah, tons of memberships
Huge.
today.
Tons
so,
of memberships. today.
Amazing.
We love
fellow
it.
travelers.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
So
Welcome.
yeah, we'll have official news next week of the deal I hinted towards that
Oh, it's a deal. There's more breadcrumbs. You're just throwing
it's a
bread
deal.
right at their face.
It's a deal. It's a deal that
Arms. The
Tiny
short
arms.
helps with the future of this channel.
I mean,
and
if
the
you guys
show.
know, if you don't know by now, come on.
Don't know.
Basically, it's anyway.
No, I'm very excited about the future of
Me
this
too.
show. This show.
Mm.
So cool. What do you got coming up, Adam?
Well, I've got Base Staff Monday tomorrow. It's my show that I do every Monday with the crew, Garrett, of course, and then Flodzilla, Darth Call, Andreas Exertus,
Darth
and
Maul.
then- Darth Maul. Well, sometimes, and then Georgia Giant Slayer joins us whenever he can. And then this Thursday, I actually am doing an interview. I haven't done an interview in a while, and I'm really excited.
Ooh.
Master of TDS, not Trump derangement syndrome. Everyone, I actually don't remember what it is, but he's been using that name for a long time. It's like some defense shotgun or something. But anyway, he's been doing this expose on the bots that are infecting Twitter and the problem arises in it, and also even the bot farming with YouTube, Rumble, like basically what these corporations are using bots to manipulate the market. And he's just done a lot of research, and I want more people to know about it. So I'm gonna
Well,
be interviewing
Facebook
him
got
about
busted doing that.
it. Really? Yep.
Yes.
So it's
they did.
happening. Yeah. Everyone's kind of
There's
like,
precedent. Well, I
hmm.
mean, think about it.
oh
You know,
yeah,
hey, we're not going to show our stats and our analytics. Trust me, bro. It's like, come on.
yeah.
We use it for
Okay.
money.
I think there's a
Trust me,
validity to
bro.
YouTube views, but like I would say it's not. Well, I would say with 100% certainty, it's not 100%.
Right.
It's not 100%. But I'd say
Oh,
it's
of
better
course.
than
With all
better
views.
than most. Yeah, like with Twitter, it's impressions. I
Yeah.
wouldn't believe those for a second.
Right. Someone
you
just went past.
Scrolls.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that counts. Someone's watching.
Yeah, and there's impressions on videos too, but there's a separate number for those impressions. So
Right.
Mhm.
True.
Yeah.
So, but that's this week. I'm excited. I don't know what we're talking about next week, but I'm always
Skinwalker
excited.
Ranch.
Skinwalker, and then we'll have
Obviously.
another subject.
We're doing Skinwalker every week from the next 14
Right.
I'm
weeks,
going
I
to go
guess.
over. Randall's got some new stuff out, and I'm sure he's got some stuff prepped for Cosmic Summit. So maybe we can go over some of that. I certainly hope we get an Ancient Apocalypse season 2.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's not confirmed, right? But
Well,
he's
Graham hasn't said
traveling
it, but
around.
I've been told it's happening. He's been traveling around a lot,
Right.
but it could. I mean, plausibly,
It's
it
not
could be a
public yet.
book. It could be
Oh,
a
okay.
book.
True.
But
I hope not.
well, no,
I hope
the
it's a show.
series did well. And
Yeah.
I hope getting a bunch of criticism doesn't stop people from doing it. Like, who cares?
I mean, if
That's right.
anything, that they brought more light to it. You
No,
know,
the
that's-
debate was fucking awesome. Graham won.
Oh,
like
dude,
Graham
Graham
walked away
kicked
from
his
that
ass.
looking great.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that kind of
Garrett does it so well. I can't even. Not even gonna try it. No, it's not like that at all.
no.
Anyway,
It's like that guy never left the school, did he? Like
No,
No.
that's the problem
a
with
good
a lot
point.
of professors. They literally just stay in school their whole entire life. So
Yeah.
no
They have a look.
experiences.
The modern professors definitely have a look,
Yeah, they do.
right? You know, even
Mhm.
Robert Schoch has a little bit of like, at least that guy fucking goes places though, right?
That's true.
You know.
Well, he's the one who actually broke free of the chains
Yeah.
and got out there and maintained the look, but not the craziness.
I wish
And the
he and
stubbornness.
Graham would work things out.
Yeah, that's a bummer when I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish. He'll be at Cosmic Summit, Robert Schoch.
So cool.
That's, oh my God. That was like, oh God.
See if you can land that interview. That'd be
Oh,
really
that'd be
nice.
cool.
Just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
Dude,
we will interview him. I'm just putting that out there.
We'll manifest it.
Yes.
We'll manifest it.
I'm manifesting right now, X-Ray.
right.
I don't believe in manifest.
What
Okay.
about Destiny?
No.
No? Okay.
You know, it's a dash of
He's a
luck and
fool.
mostly effort. You know, it's fine.
Destiny's like the village idiot that they like to fucking pick on. I don't know why he gets
Yeah.
invited to shit. I don't understand.
I
know
don't
there's-
understand
Hey,
either.
shout out to Minds Fest. There's a lot of people I liked who went there. Carrie Smith. I fucking love Carrie Smith. She's great.
Carrie's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like her.
Alex Stein just went and
Ian
disrupted.
Crossland. I love that dude. He's fantastic.
Ian's cool. He unfollowed
I
me
like
on
Ian a lot.
Twitter over the Eliza Blue stuff.
He
Um,
unfollowed you?
Yeah, I did.
Boo.
Luke did not.
No,
No,
Radowski.
Luke Radowski's. I like Luke Radowski.
He's friggin' incredible. Yeah,
I love that guy.
Dude
I
knows his
freaking
shit.
love that guy.
Yeah. Luke's awesome.
Yeah, he was. You know, Ian. They were all really nice in person. Okay, Ian was
Yeah.
very nice, very kind person. Yeah, Destiny's a tard. Everybody else, Carrie Smith is like a good soul. That's a good human being right there. So follow her.
Facts.
She's great. So thanks everyone. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. Thanks to the Nerdrotics out there. We'll be back next week with Quarter Black Garrett. And yeah, hopefully he'll be 100% probed when he gets back.
Oh,
That son bitch.
if
He
he's
will.
smiling, we know why.
What do you have coming up, X-Ray Girl?
Oh, tomorrow, probably Stellar Blade in the morning, for a couple hours, and then we are starting the season 4 with Donna Doctor Who episodes with Zia. So that'll be on my channel at 6 p.m. Eastern if you want to gush about the good times back in the day. And I think episode 1 of this, and then Torchwood. So watch it concurrently.
There you go.
But yeah. And check out all the links below if you're interested in doing any of this stuff. So
Thanks again, everyone. See you next week. Your homework. Watch Skinwalker Ranch if you can. However you feel you see fit. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Check out Richard Dolan's last video on the subject we talk about today, and we will be
Down here.
much better about this. And this is on me. Because we'll always have a second subject. We won't talk about Skinwalker the entire episode. So what we're going to try to do is in the community section, we'll put up like anything you guys check out. You know what you put in Discord. You have the power, X-Ray Girl, and so do I. We'll start linking that stuff in the community section that we're watching over the course of the week.
And
'Cause, like,
Twitter. Check out
In our
Twitter.
super secret Discord, we're like the most active section on our Discord is Forbidden Frontier Research, like by far.
I post a lot in there.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
And
you
I
do.
love it.
I
like
post
it.
more in there than any other Discord that I'm in. I'm just saying.
It's the
I'm in there a
passion
lot.
for the subject though, and you can definitely
That's true.
see it.
We're always finding new stuff. It's like, did you see this?
Yeah.
Oh my god, what's that? What the fuck?
Yeah,
So,
it's cool.
We'll
It's a good
start
spot.
posting that stuff in the community section here, so you guys can kind of like watch it along with us. We'll be much better about it. We'll start it tonight if we see anything tonight. So thanks again. We'll catch you next time.
Bye everyone.
Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier,